term.
I will say this: I am right wing. That's partially why I would vote for Trump, not necessarily because I endorse him as a candidate. I don't think he's the best candidate, but I would support him more than I would support left wing candidates. I think Trump is morally corrupt. I don't think he's the best candidate. I think the cult like following and the radicalization doesn't make him a good candidate. I think a true candidate needs to be bringing both the right and the left together, and I don't think Trump does that. I think he divides more than he unites.
Okay, so then
So
what specifically is better on behalf of Trump comparative to Kamala Harris? Because it sounds like Kamala Harris would be more of a candidate that would unite the country comparative to Donald Trump.
I don't think so.
You think that Kamala Harris would divide the country more than Donald Trump?
I think the left divides a lot. I really can I have a
how?
point.
Can you be specific with how? And thank you everyone for joining in from Dean's stream. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. I appreciate everyone joining in. Thank you so much.
No, I really do I want to address something. That was not the angle I wanted to take. You kind of heard it yourself. I didn't necessarily support Trump as a Republican. I supported the fact that he was Republican, but I don't think he was the best candidate. So I've told you that. Can I ask you something? Okay.
Yeah, sure. It sounds like you don't really care to engage in the conversation. Go for it.
I think that rhetoric on both sides. You don't endorse Fuentes, of course. That's obvious. I think Fuentes divides as well. But I do think when you perpetuate the idea that Republicans are unintelligent, or that if you're a Republican, you're a bad person, that doesn't do good for the spirit of debating, and it doesn't actually help. So do you condemn that idea, or do you support that? Do you think that if you're a right wing, you're a bad person? And I'm going to acknowledge that behavior exists on the left as well. So I'm not going to say it doesn't exist on the left. And the right also does it. So it's a problem.
There's a lot of bad people on the right, but I don't think everyone who comes up on the live is a bad person. A lot of people are just ill-informed and misinformed.
So you're telling me right now that being right wing doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad. It means that there's more depth when it comes to analyzing someone's moral.
There's a lot of misinformation that's prevalent because of people like Donald Trump and people who perpetuate that evil ideology. And they utilize hate, right? So oftentimes people will be very hateful. But yeah, there are a lot of people who are misinformed.
So you can acknowledge. I mean, I feel like you contribute to it on the left, but I mean, I'm going to be respectful. You're giving me a platform to speak, so I don't know. I think there is a level of decorum you have when you have to address people. I mean, I've heard from a lot of people that you just. I mean, especially when you look at your thumbnails, it's like, oh, owning racist MAGA. It's like, all right, well, how is that really uniting people?
So I just want to let you know. So certain titles about like a certain thing getting destroyed in terms of an argument, that's a description of a video to like get people to click on a video so that people can engage with the content, right? When you engage with the content, right, what happens within the content, right? There's a productive dialogue in a lot of circumstances, and circumstances in which there's not a productive dialogue, right? It is the case that captures the particular extraordinarily extreme beliefs that exist on behalf of the Trump supporters in those contexts. So there is a point of distancing us from, right, like divisive ideology that is incredibly important. And utilizing that type of mechanism of being able to like send out more in the algorithm is a pretty important way of like actually like getting those conversations out there. That's just the nature of the algorithm for like debate style content.
Yeah, well, I honestly, I gained a lot of respect when you said that you condemned that idea, because I didn't think you did. So I mean, I'm glad you did.
Well, Donald Trump is the one that's divisive. That's what I'm saying. I think he's the one that's divisive. I think that ultimately we can become more unified if we let down a lot of the hate. I think hate is what's divisive towards us, and of course we're going to respond to hateful ideology because we don't want people to be hateful. But it doesn't make us divisive to respond to that hateful ideology, right?
So, okay, I noticed yesterday with Kirk, and we had made a joke, and I think about your neck hurting. So,
what?
Do you believe in? Yeah, I remember that. I tuned into the last stream, and I don't remember which viewer, but he brought up Kirk,
no,
and then he said
someone pivoted. Someone pivoted.
Oh,
like so my neck hurts from someone pivoting. I didn't make a joke about that. I wouldn't joke about that.
I don't know, man. Okay, I'll anyway.
This is crazy. Of course, I didn't intentionally joke about that. That's crazy.
Okay.
I was 30 to 40 feet away when that happened. Why would you bring that up?
Because that's way too on the nose.
What? What are you talking about?
So someone brings up Kirk, and then right as you bring up Kirk, you say, "Oh, my neck hurts. My neck hurts."
I don't think that's specifically the connotation of what happened. I would love for you to find a clip of that. That's ridiculous.
I mean, all right, if you're standing on that, then it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd bring that up in that way, especially given what I've been through when it relates to that. So,
Okay, well, if that's not what happened, then I'm sorry.
okay. All right. So do you want to tell me why you
Uh,
support Trump?
I support Trump because I'm a Christian, and Christianity aligns more with the right wing. I don't think Trump represents Christian values, but the right definitely supports Christianity more than the left. Do
How
I
so?
think that they have been? Do I think there have been Christians that say, or figures that are political that say that they're Christian? They don't speak for all of us. There's definitely some bad examples. Trump is not Christian. But right wing ideology
So, okay.
aligns
So why
more
would you support someone who's not a Christian over someone who is Christian? Kamala Harris
because
is Christian.
what Kamala supports as a
Kamala.
left candidate does not actually align with Christian ideology.
Like, how does Donald Trump's positions in terms of policy align more with Christianity?
Because because okay, first off, Kamala's power.
Kamala. You could just say VP Harris.
Thank you. VP Harris is positions on the LGBTQ, for example. So once that's also an example of
What specific policy?
she's pro LGBTQ.
Is that bad? What specific policy do you disagree with?
That policy,
What specific policy?
I don't know any.
You don't know any policies, so then you just what do you disagree with, dude?
I think left wing ideology does not align with Christianity, which is why I voted
Wait,
or I
wait,
would have
no, no,
voted
no.
for
You
Trump.
said the LGBTQ plus community. What specifically? Like, dude, that sounds like to me that it's become like a buzzword to you, right? There's no actual like substance in terms of policy that you disagree with us on, right? That you could point to. It's just you specifically disagree with like what, gay people?
Yes,
Why?
because I'm a Christian and it's against the Bible. It's sinful.
What? Okay, so so what's sinful specifically? It's not sinful to be gay. Under your perspective, is it sinful to engage in gay intercourse?
Yes.
So it's not sinful to be gay, okay? And also, then
It's
your
sinful to be gay.
prescription
It's
from
sinful
your
to have
same
a.
from
It's
your
sinful
same
to have a
standpoint,
gay.
it's also sinful to engage in sex before marriage, correct?
Yes.
So why do you view specifically people engaging in gay intercourse any differently than you view, like, say, like people engaging in like premarital sex in any context?
Because being gay is a lifestyle. If you lead a lifestyle of
What do you mean
premarital
a
sex,
lifestyle?
you can live your whole life being gay.
Is having sex before marriage a lifestyle?
It's more so an action. But if you live a lifestyle of premarital sex,
Okay, wait,
that's
wait, wait.
also
So why
bad.
is one an action and the other a lifestyle?
Because being gay, you're not in a premarital sex relationship. That's kind of silly to say.
What?
Premarital
What?
sex relationship? No, being gay is a
No,
relationship.
you're engaging in premarital sex in that circumstance. That's what you
Yes.
consider wrong. There's nothing in the Bible that says it's wrong to be in a relationship. Like two gay men in a relationship, right? As long as they, under your view, didn't engage in intercourse, they wouldn't be doing anything wrong, right?
No, it'd still be wrong.
What's wrong with that?
Because it's biblical for a man and female to be equally yoked. It doesn't say man and man.
Wait, but if they're not engaging in intercourse, what's specifically wrong with that, under your view?
Because
There's
because
nothing condemning marriage between two people, correct?
repeat that.
There's nothing condemning specifically marriage between two men, right? Absolutely nothing. In the
Oh man, I'm
Bible.
getting called gay in comments. That's crazy.
Wait, can you explain to
Uh,
me what aspect of the Bible, right, says that marriage between two men specifically is wrong?
Obviously, the Leviticus one. We all know that one, but that's
That
kind of
doesn't talk
dated.
about marriage at all. That's nothing to do with marriage. What specifically condemns two men getting married, right?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't necessarily say that, but it says man and female equally yoked. It doesn't necessarily have to say it, but it's saying that man and female are yoked. That's by design. So just because it doesn't mention it doesn't mean that it's fine.
Okay, wait. Okay, but there's no reason to say that it's wrong if it doesn't mention it, right? If Jesus
Well,
never
yeah,
talked about it being wrong,
well, the stuff
then
in the Bible is not suggestions. It's not like like it's saying
and
man
also,
and
by the
female.
way,
Need to be
okay, well, I
equally
mean,
yoked.
also, have you read other verses in Leviticus, like the ones that specifically condone slavery? Like in
I said
Leviticus
like
25,
yeah, no,
44
yeah.
through 46. Like, I don't think you'd ever cite that as like some sort of moral law that you're going to abide by.
Well, yeah,
But
no.
seemingly, whenever we talk about the LGBTQ plus community, Christians feel the need to revert back to like, oh yes, I'm going to bring up Leviticus.
Well, okay. I said Leviticus was dated. I don't know if you heard me on that. I'm pretty sure being equally yoked is a New Testament ideology. So first off, even if we want to go to Leviticus, I mean, Jesus abolished the Old Testament. I mean, that's a fact.
Okay, then why'd you bring it up?
I said it was dated, so I didn't actually. That's not what I was.
So then what? Okay, so is there anything you could bring up specifically that would justify your obvious hate for the LGBT community?
Because it says in the Bible that man and female are to be equally yoked, and that's a New Testament ideology.
What is that supposed to mean?
Meaning in marriage.
Wait. Okay. Can you give me the verse that you're referencing?
Hold on, I'll pull it up. I don't remember off the top of my head. Second Corinthians 6:14.
What is it?
Be ye not equally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness?
You said 2 Corinthians what?
6:14.
6:14. Okay. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers.
Hold on, that might have been
that has to do with atheists. That's like, you think that you can't get married to atheists?
Well, unbeliever, if you're gay, you're not following God.
Wait. Yes, wait. I'm sorry. There are lots of gay people that follow Christ. What are you talking about? You think there are no people who are gay that follow Christ? That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
But that's a sin. That's a sin they're working through.
Wait. So you're saying Christians don't sin?
Of course they do.
What? So then, what is your position as to why gay people can't be Christian? If it is the case that
I didn't say that.
Because they're engaging in sin, everyone sins under your view, right?
Yes, but if you're being gay, and you're not willing to repent,
why are you saying only gay people can't be Christian just because they sin? When you're saying that you specifically are still a Christian, even though you sin.
Being gay, yes, is sinful, and you can be gay and be a Christian. I'm sorry if I misspoke.
It's not sinful to be gay under your worldview. You can only point to, under your view, gay intercourse being sinful. But again, that's I think it's just obviously ridiculous to take that prescription from the Bible. I don't think that you're going to accept that. There's not much talked about in terms of gay intercourse being wrong in the context of the Bible. And if it is the case that you're going to accept that from those particular prescriptions in the context of the Bible, right? I would just say, like, well, then you have to accept every single prescription from the Bible. Otherwise, you're going to have to then hold on to this the standard that you can cherry pick some. Then you could just ask specifically why you would pick this one to count, and you'd have to give a reason.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry. I haven't done enough research on the gay. Being gay is 100%.
Why'd you use it as a reason to say that the Democrats are advocating for worse off policies? Like, what is the policy difference? Is there anything different about the parties that you can point to that this would have been relevant for, or is it just like some psyop that you've been fucking brainwashed
it's also
to believe
abortion.
in?
So being gay was also. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't argued it the best. I'm sorry, but abortion is also something that is against my belief as a Christian.
Okay. Do you believe in separation of? How about we go to this? Do you believe in separation of church and state?
Yes.
Okay. Then why would you say that a religious reason would be a reason why the law should be a certain way? Couldn't you just say it's immoral, but not say that it should be illegal?
It is immoral.
Well, yeah, you say that it's immoral, but again, just because something's immoral doesn't mean it should be illegal, right? You engage in sins. Should you be put in prison for your sins?
Yeah.
Yeah? You should be put in prison? So we should all put you in prison.
No.
Dude, you were like one of the first people on the live stream to almost advocate for your own imprisonment. That's crazy, bro.
I misspoke.
Really? You misspoke? That was your position for a second. I feel like you actively had to change your mind there.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I want to know your stance on abortion. So you're obviously for abortion, right?
Well, I'm pro-choice, yeah. I don't think that it's a person prior to the point of the fact that it would be considered sentient. Like, think of it this way. Do you think that it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead?
Do they have like an order that like before?
There's no particular order that they've made. Should the family? Do you think it's murder for the family to pull the plug on an individual in their family that becomes brain dead?
Not necessarily.
You don't think that's murder? Okay. So then,
No.
if you say that it's not murder because medical death happens when there's no sentient life, even though there's cellular life, Well, then why wouldn't you care about life as soon as medical life begins? Right? At the point of sentient life beginning, not cellular life beginning at conception. Because, like, again, I don't think that that's the basis for value that you would have.
So you don't believe life begins at conception?
No, I do believe cellular life begins at conception. I just don't think that we value cellular life. I think that we value sentient and medical life.
Well, I guess we disagree on that.
Well, I think you do too. I proved that. You don't care about just cellular life. If you just cared about cellular life, well, then you wouldn't say that someone, well, then you would say that specifically someone who has pulled the plug on an individual in their family that's brain dead is a murderer.
Well, the thing is that that's a false equivalency. You can't compare the two.
I mean, why not? Because I'm talking about, all I'm really saying is that it's the end of medical life, and you just don't care about it at that specific point to the same degree as like a person, in order to say that there'd be like a right to life to maintain, right? Because it is the case that, right, that's the point of death, right, for that we consider. So if that's the point of death in terms of the life that we value, well, then wouldn't the life that we value begin at the point in which sentience begins as well?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Well, if the value for the life, specifically to the same degree in which we consider in personhood, ends at the point of sentient life, well, then wouldn't that also begin at the beginning of sentient life? Like, we wouldn't, like, you obviously show that you don't care about specifically just cellular life. You care about sentient life, right?
Well, I think that cellular life is going to become sentient life. So it's not the same as pulling the plug.
Okay, well, you're saying it will become, but if you have an abortion, it will never.
Yeah, and I
Right?
disagree with that.
What do you mean you disagree with that? If you have an abortion, there will never be sentient life.
Yes, and that should not happen.
What's wrong with that?
Because if it's going to become sentient life, because the thing, you're comparing two things that are not the same. People who are brain dead or people who are going to get the plug pulled on them, there's no way that they're ever going to become sentient life. And the thing is,
Yeah, if you have an abortion, there's no way there will ever be sentient life. So why is it valuable?
because there's actually a potential for that thing to become. There's no potential for something that's brain dead.
So, but it's just potential alone. I don't think we value just potential alone. You're going to value potential or future so long as there's a past or a present established. But why would you just value potential alone, right? Specifically over someone's bodily autonomy. I think someone's bodily autonomy and human rights, sentient humans' rights to bodily autonomy is significantly more valuable, right, than, right, like just cellular life, right?
Well, all right.
That has yet to ever be sentient, and if you have
Well,
an abortion, will never be sentient.
The thing is that there's so many contraceptives available to where if you're getting pregnant, I feel like that's just a failure on your part. Excluding rape and excluding incest, if you're getting pregnant with all the contraceptives that are available, you messed up. Do you agree with that?
I'm sorry, that's just not true, right? You understand that people specifically utilize contraceptives in the way that they are supposed to, and yet it still fails in certain circumstances. Contraception fails in some circumstances.
If you had to give me,
over 50% of abortions come from failed contraceptives. Did you know that?
If you had to give me a percentage of how many times contraceptives failed so they work, what would they be?
Over 50% of abortions come from failed contraceptives, according to the Guttmacher Institute.
Yeah, but that's when they're pregnant. That's not how contraceptives work.
What are you talking about? I'm confused. I said
I'm saying 50%.
51% of abortions are a result of failed contraceptives.
Yes, but you're not accounting for all pregnancies. I'm saying it.
What do you mean I'm not accounting for all pregnancies? What are you talking about? That this is an estimate on all pregnancies, specifically from the Guttmacher Institute.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. You're accounting for all the abortions. I'm accounting for a percentage of people who get pregnant. How many people get pregnant from failed birth control? You're accounting all the abortions. You're not accounting percentage of people getting pregnant, because that's the number I want to know. How many pregnant? My bad.
What is the percent of like contraceptives not working?
Right.
What is the effectiveness? Well, it's effective. I mean, it depends on the specific form of contraceptive that you're using. And it depends on the type of birth control, but typically it's like high 90%, right?
90% fail rate.
But you understand that like when there are so many people in our society that utilize it, if it happens to say like 1% of people That's still millions of people, right? In our country. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Like, what's 1% of our country?
over
It's
a
over, it's,
million,
it's
if
over
not
3
more.
million people, right? If it's over 3 million people, right? Just 1% of the country. That's a lot of people, right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty similar. Okay, so I mean that's pretty similar to like the point that we're talking to in terms of like abortions in this country, right? Because we're not talking about like everyone. It's not everyone getting an abortion, right? It's not it happens every day, right?
Well, I think the problem with giving just free agency over abortions is that it doesn't help our country grow. And I think if you regulate abortion, you're going to make our country a lot more sexualized, a lot more perverted, and then you're also going to drive down the birth
Wait,
rate.
you think we'll become more perverted because of legal abortion access?
Of course,
How?
because if you're allowing freedom of like this sexual depravity, you're
Dude,
allowing
you
this
just
because
don't
there's no
like you just
consequences.
don't like to fuck, bro?
I mean, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in premarital.
Oh, okay. So you've just never done it premarital?
No.
Okay. Well, so then like why is that wrong for other people? Like I mean, I'm not Christian, right? You have your views, but like why do you have to enforce them upon me? If I want to have sex, what's wrong with me doing that before marriage? Who gives a, you don't even consider my marriage as valid because I'm not doing it under God anyway.
But because if you're allowing for abortion, then you're literally driving down the birth rate. So it's not my view. It's also just bad as a
Okay,
country.
if you're in terms of driving, so you want to force people to go through pregnancies to drive up the birth rate?
That I think it's also morally
Well, no,
unacceptable.
that's
But
what you
it's
just
also
said. That's what
morally
you just
evil.
said. You wanted to force people to go through pregnancies to drive up the birth rate.
Among other things, yes, it's a combination of reasons.
Wait, okay. Oh, I'm confused. I'm confused. You understand that you can incentivize people to have more kids, maybe by like making the system better so that people can afford to have more kids, rather than specifically like forcing people to go through pregnancies? Isn't that like incredibly dystopian and authoritarian for you to say that you want to force people against their will to do that? I mean, I have a question. Do you think that people should have been forced against their will to take the vaccine to save human lives?
No.
Okay. So freedom to not take the vaccine if you don't want to, but you should be forced to go through the context of pregnancy to save human life. So you're forced against your will to do one thing for human life, but not in the other circumstance.
Well, I mean, again, vaccines and abortions are not the same thing.
Yeah, you're restricting bodily autonomy to save human life, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you restrict bodily autonomy to save human life in one scenario, you're saying that's justified to do so. Why are you saying it's unjustified to do it in the other scenario?
Well, the vaccine was not like actually good. I don't agree with
The
the 2020.
vaccine
I didn't.
wasn't good. What do you mean? There's a bibliography in my bio, a works cited page that has 30 plus pages of peer reviewed systematic reviews that indicate the effectiveness and safety of the COVID vaccines in particular, just the COVID vaccines. Okay, so the idea that it wasn't like good is actually absurd at this point. Like it's so absurd at this point.
All right.
You know how many vaccine doses we've given out around the world? You know how much data we have?
Let's hear it.
We've given out billions of doses around the world. Billions of doses. We have so much evidence. It's unbelievable. And you're just denying it. You know, if we're giving out billions of doses and it had like if the vaccine was extremely, extremely harmful, we would see a lot more cases of this being true than we do. Right? Like if say if there was like a 40% of people who took the vaccine were negatively impacted this way, that would be a huge portion of the American public. Did you know that? That'd be
Yeah.
tens of millions of hundreds of millions of people, right? Tens to 100 million people like in the United States alone. Billions of people around the world. We would see this. Come on.
Parker, I'm going to acknowledge this. I'm out of my element. I think I've been up here for too long. I appreciate you
Okay.
giving me the time.
All right.
Um,
Appreciate you coming up.
yeah, I gained a lot of respect for you. Can I say my goodbyes? Am I allowed to?
Sure. At this point, and it's really frustrating And it's like, at this point, I feel like I have to fucking move. I have to literally move in order to fix the internet issues. Because the internet issues can't be fixed by anything in this area. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's so annoying. Alrighty, everyone. Give it a second for people to join in. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Whitney, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
Yo, Parker, you
what's
should
up, how old are
low-key
you?
debate Nick Fuentes. Like, not even gonna
Dude,
lie, you should
leave
do
me
it.
alone, you fucking weirdo. He's literally a white supremacist. Dude, stop watching his fucking content. Jesus Christ, dude. Yo, what's up?
Hey,
how are
I'm
you?
sorry, I didn't mean to join.
You're good, you're good. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Why you sound so gay?
Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2006.
Okay, what month?
February 21st.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay. What's up with your name?
What's my name again? I forgot. I just created this.
I don't think you can forget that.
I'm trying to look.
Your
right
name
now.
is Maga Truth Straight Pride. Is that like supposed to be like rage bait or something? Or what do you mean?
It's just being ridiculous.
What's the
But I
point
do
in that?
support Trump.
Do you like think that's funny or something? Okay. They just left. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. That was embarrassing, chat. That was really embarrassing for that guy. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
53.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would vote for Trump again.
Are you driving?
No, I'm not.
It kind of does sound like you're driving.
Is that a reason for us not to have a discussion? Because I'm not actually.
Because it's TikTok TOS. Alrighty, let me say thank you to a few people. Give it a second for people to join in, everyone. Jade, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much, Jade. Valerie as well with the $5. Thank you so much. Good some W's for them in the comment section. Kelly with the $5. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sarah, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Judy, thank you for the $35 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Judy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for Judy in the comment section right now. As well as Ida Luis with the fucking... Oh my god, bro. This is actually nuts. This was from like 21 minutes ago. I didn't even see this before my internet cut out, so I hope that they are still here. Ida Luis, thank you so much. I really appreciate that fucking...
Hello, Parker.
How old are you?
I'm 22. I talked to you earlier. Remember you removed me on accident?
Oh, okay. Well, I just removed you again on accident. I'm sorry, Ida Louise. Thank you so much for the $150 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Ida Louise. Give me some fucking W's for Ida Louise in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That is unbelievable. W's for Ida Louise in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, as well as Kathy with the $50 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. W's for Kathy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. As well as Ida Louise. Thank you. Seriously, that's so fucking kind of y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on the next person here real quick, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. We have to build up the stream again, everyone. I'm very unfortunate. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 17.
You got to be 18 plus to join the live TikTok rules. How
All
old are
right,
you?
don't remove me.
Yeah,
Don't remove
I
me.
realized I saw your name.
I'm 22.
What's your birth year?
02. I turn 23 next month.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I'd vote for Trump.
Okay, why so?
I don't like the support of Islam from the left.
What? What's wrong with Islam? One, and then two.
Islam's very evil, and
Okay.
the countries that
What makes you think that?
I mean, there's 5 different verses in the Quran that tells you to beat your wife. Their main prophet was a pedophile who married.
So what you're doing is you're taking certain interpretations of text that actually I would say most Muslims, specifically in the United States, do not take. And then secondly, as it relates to this, there are plenty of Christian verses, specifically in the Bible, that I could point to that justify horrible and atrocious things such as slavery, genocide, and plenty
In the
of
Old
different
Testament.
types of which is also the context of your God, right? So,
But the Old Testament was
is it
rewritten
still
by
your
Jesus.
God? Okay, if God
Yes,
commanded
but
you
it
to
was rewritten.
if in 1 Samuel 15:3 God commanded you and you are one of Saul's men, or if God commanded you and Saul specifically to slaughter the men, women, children, and infants of Amalek, would you do it?
If God commanded me to do anything, I would do it.
You would murder infants and children
I would kill
because
anything.
God commanded you?
If he
And
told
by
me
the
to
way,
kill
you're
anything, I'd kill
and we're
anything.
supposed to believe that Muslims are evil, yet you would specifically murder people at a command that are children and infants.
Their main prophet Muhammad married a 6-year-old and consummated the marriage by impregnating her at 9 years old.
Which again,
That's
as
their
a
main prophet.
Wait, again, as you relate to that, which again, I specifically do believe, because I think that there's pretty decent evidence to that. The same thing could be said specifically for Christianity, historically speaking, in terms of Mary, right? Mary was a minor as well. So if you want to point to specifically things like this to demonize Islam, well, then you have to point to specific things like that to also demonize Christianity. Okay?
Mary was a virgin,
Which I would say
and there's
most
nothing in the
Christians
Bible that
and
specifies
I would say
the
most
age
Christians
of-
and Muslims do not take those particular interpretations, and if they do, that should be condemned in those circumstances, of course.
What,
But
what about
you cannot
Sharia
specifically
law?
say that this is just Islam. You have to also.
What about Sharia law?
Right, that's also an interpretation that's not applicable to like most Muslims in the United States.
How? There's multiple Islamic countries
This is
where these immigrants
like
come
you saying
from.
you take all of the literal laws from Old Testament, and because there are some Christians that believe in that here in the context of the United States, that you're going to brand all Christians to be like that.
No,
There-
because
wait, you understand that the KKK considers themselves Christians. Do you think that you could brand the entirety of Christianity as the KKK?
No, because you shouldn't judge Christianity off Christians. You should judge Christianity off Christ. You should judge it off the Word, just like you should judge the Quran off the Word.
Wait, I literally have brought up the word, how it specifically says the commanding of slaughtering children and infants, where it specifically literally says that you can own people as slaves and pass them down to your children as inherited property for life.
And further, in the same book, it also says that the Old Testament
address
was
what I just
rewritten.
said.
Yeah, yes, but I'm telling you that the covenant was rewritten. That's what it says in the New Testament.
So again, in terms of that prescription, it's still your God making these particular prescriptions at some point in history. So you're saying that at least
Yes,
at
this
some
was
point in
early
history,
civilization.
those moral prescriptions are true, which is obviously ridiculous.
This is early civilization.
So you're saying slavery was justified at some points in history, under your view?
No, it wasn't justified.
Okay, so if you agree slavery was never justified, well, then you disagree with your God, right? You think your God's evil.
No, it doesn't say that you should enslave people. It says if you're a slave, you should
literally
obey.
says that you could own people as slaves, and that shouldn't be punished if you beat them after like specifically in Exodus 21, 23, 21. If you beat people insofar as that they don't recover after a day or two, it is the case that because they are quote unquote your property, right, you shouldn't be punished. That's literally what Exodus says, right? That's
Yes, but that's the
literally
Old
from
Testament
God.
that's been rewritten.
But okay, so at some points in history, you think that's applicable?
I can't say what's applicable in early days civilization. Those are
No,
tests.
yes, you have to say that it's good because God is all good, or under your view, right?
No, God, no. Well, yeah, God is all good, but God is also all knowing. He knew
So
what we should have done in early civilization. I don't.
Oh, so you think that that's what should have been done?
Whatever he thinks should have been done should have been done.
Okay, so that's exactly what we mean. So you can't specifically say that religious extremism is only specifically an issue within Islam, but not say it's an issue within Christianity.
Yeah, because in their book it says that they should terrorize other religions until they convert.
Wait, these are all. Wait, can you tell me the verse?
I don't have the Quran on me,
Okay,
but
so
I have studied the
these
Quran.
these are
pretty
things that you can't even
extensively.
point to in terms of the verse. These are just claims that you're making.
These are
Again,
facts.
these
You
are
can look
specific. No,
these
these
up.
are specific interpretations, right? That are not applicable to most Muslims in the United States. You're trying to brand Muslims as extreme in the United States, but you're not willing to do the same thing with
No,
Christianity.
I'm not saying all Muslims are extremists. I'm saying that the religion is evil in its own.
Well,
There's nothing
the same
in the
can
New,
be said
there's
about
nothing in the
Christianity.
New Testament.
Wait,
that
do you want us to
point
bring up the
as
Crusades? Do you
evil.
want us to bring up the Spanish Inquisition? Do you want us to bring up plenty of the crimes of Christianity throughout the context of history? Because if you're only going to look at the crimes of specifically one religion and brand the entire religion as specifically based on those particular crimes or those particular interpretations, well, then you have to do the same thing for Christianity. You can have
Because
these particular wild interpretations in Christianity, and you're going to accept them to be true, right, specifically in this context. And you're not going to acknowledge that that's extreme or bad, but you're only willing to acknowledge it's extreme or bad on behalf of Islam.
And because the only bad things you can point to are in the Old Testament that said it was rewritten
I
over
can
2,000
point to bad
years
things
ago.
in the New Testament. There's divorce law in the
Huh?
New Testament that's atrocious.
There's what in the New Testament?
There's
that's
divorce
atrocious?
law in the New Testament that's atrocious that I can point to.
Yeah,
Do you want me to point to that?
sure.
Yeah, so specifically divorce law within the context of the gospel specifically doesn't indicate that you can get a divorce in situations of abuse. Right?
What version of the Bible is that?
What do you mean? What version of the any?
What
particular
version of the Bible? What does it say? Like, what's the exact verse?
The exact. We're talking about the different ones in the gospel. So it's there's different depictions of the stories in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John. So there's different depictions of the story. But in all of them, there's not specifically any condemnation from Jesus specifically of there is a specific condemnation of divorce in all circumstances except specifically like infidelity.
You said
one-
except for infidelity?
Yeah, that's in one of them.
Yeah, it says, what's the exact quote? That you should divorce your wife if she commits adultery?
No, it's not specifically divorce in the context of that. It's saying that it would be justified in that context. So I can provide them. There's different ones for Mark, Matthew, and Luke. Which
So
one
the
would you
only
like?
so the only thing you can argue about in the New Testament is divorce.
That's one of the things I just brought up. Do you not think this is an issue?
I just don't think divorce is a major issue.
You don't think people being able to get out of abusive situations is like a issue?
People are going to do that regardless. I mean, we're in a modernized world where it's easy to escape.
Okay, so wait. Okay, so but it's wrong under your view. You think it's wrong? You think it's morally wrong for someone to leave a marriage where they're being abused?
I don't think you should marry somebody that would abuse you.
Okay, well, say you didn't know that they were going to abuse you.
I mean, no one
And
knows
also,
that they're going to.
even so, why are you blaming the victim? That's crazy.
Do you think victims get no blame in any parts of crimes?
Oh, okay. You're just trying to say that you're going to blame the victims. No, I don't think that they deserve the blame.
You don't think
Why would
any
you?
victims?
Why would you
deserve-
blame the victim? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
No, you're not. You just said that it was okay to blame victims.
I'm saying you say victims have no blame.
Yes, I don't think that they should be blamed in this context.
Do,
Like, what,
do
they
you,
didn't
do
do
you
anything
think
wrong
all?
there.
Do you think all people that are abused do nothing wrong? Do you think? Do you think abusive relationships aren't
No, I'm
usually
saying
two-way
I'm saying
streets?
that they are not a perpetrator of the situation that they were victimized in.
Yeah, but what percentage of abusive relationships are two-way streets?
Whoa, dude, are you really trying to argue specifically that it's justified that people are abused because you think that they abuse other people? Is that your
No,
argument? You have to give that percentage. And what the fuck, dude? Are you okay? I think this is an abusive mentality, genuinely.
How?
Because
Wait.
right, you're trying to just specifically blame victims by saying that there would be a justification for them being victimized because you think that it is the case that they are victimizing other people, which there's no reason to believe that in this context. We're talking about people who have been victimized, and in the circumstances where they were victimized, you were blaming them for being victimized.
Well, what I'm saying is like abuse is usually a two-way street. You don't see someone get hit in the face.
Wait, I have a question. Do victims deserve any blame for being victimized?
What I'm trying to say is
No, answer that question. Do victims deserve any blame for being victimized?
Hold on. I don't even think you'll want to ask that question.
You can't even answer this question. This is a question you won't be able to answer. Do victims deserve any blame for being victimized?
What I was saying was
He can't answer this question.
Was that you never see like someone getting abused? Like let's say
answer my question. Do
like
victims deserve any blame for being victimized? I'm gonna keep saying it if you don't answer it. Do victims deserve any blame for being victimized? Answer the question.
There can be.
What? No, that's ridiculous. Why would you say that a victim would deserve blame for being victimized? That's something that they didn't cause, something that they're specifically going to be harmed for.
Just listen to what I'm saying. Let me finish a thought because I haven't been able to get a full sentence out. What I'm saying is when someone's getting abused, it's not always just a one-way street where someone's just getting pounded on. If someone gets hit, you just never see someone just take it.
Dude.
You're going to see someone
You're
defend
literally
themselves.
just straight defending abuse right now, right? You're not actually okay, let's provide like a circumstance. Someone getting sexually abused. In a circumstance where someone gets sexually assaulted, do you think that they are at fault for getting sexually assaulted?
No, there's no excuse for that.
Okay, so obviously it would make no sense to blame the victim.
I'm saying physical abuse.
It would make no sense.
Abuse.
Are you justifying phisical abuse? If a man hits a woman?
No, right, I'm saying physical abuse is rarely just a one-way street. It's usually they hit each other.
Dude, you're actually fucking gross, dude. Like genuinely, you're trying to like make a justification. I'm not gonna laugh at this anymore. You're trying to like make a justification for it, and that's really fucking weird. That's like really, really weird. What a fucking weirdo, man. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump. What the fuck?
Okay, what's your birth year?
01. Why? What's yours?
You said you're how old?
18.
And you were born in 01? Wow, that's really solid math. That's really solid. You know, I actually like genuinely I wish I had that degree of math skills, man. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Hey, what's good, bro? Hey, look, I just want to tell you, bro.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No. Tell me, look, I just want to say
I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I am just looking for some debates right now. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Let me say thank you to a few people in the meantime as well. Allie, thank you so much for the $15. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know there's been so many recently. It's been crazy. Christian, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Say hi to Cole for me, please. He will get a kick out of it. Absolutely. What's up, Cole? How you doing? Jade, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much, Jade. I really appreciate it. Give me some W's for Christiane in the comment section, though. Thank you so much, Christiane. Allie, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, that mentality is so fucking unhinged. Genuinely. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
49.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
You're not gonna like this answer. Or you will. First of all, I just want to say, I'm not a debater. You would kick my ass in a debate any day. I recognize that, but I will tell you my side. I don't think Democrats are knowledgeable enough in politics. I think that their morals are good. I think that their policies are reasonable for their beliefs. But I don't think that they know enough about the American people to actually make it as a party. It's not about morals. It's not about policies. It's about, and
Can I ask, what do they not know?
they don't know that in order to in order to succeed in politics, you need to appeal to the people. You can't, no matter what it is that you think, you can't use words like socialism, even if the idea is good. That word scares.
I don't think most Democrats use the word socialism to describe themselves.
Or abortion, or gun control.
I mean, abortion abortion rights are popular. And then
I
gun
agree.
control is popular as well. I mean, all these are. So you said that they shouldn't specifically believe in things that are popular, but then they also will succeed based upon appealing to people. Doesn't that appeal to people if it's popular?
It doesn't appeal to the majority of people. Americans love.
Yes, it does. Pro-choice legislation is appealing to the majority of people in America.
Listen, you can take the moral high ground, and I don't fault you for that. And if that's a good enough consolation prize when you lose to Trump,
sir, that was a descriptive claim. That was a descriptive claim. You made a descriptive claim that a majority of people are against abortion, and I said specifically a majority of people are in favor of pro-choice legislation.
I don't have anything against abortions. I don't have anything against immigration. I don't have anything against trans.
Trans people. Okay. So then why do you support Trump?
Because he knows how to play the game. And
okay, like what?
Well, for example, what helps him get elected the most is Democrats. Every time you call a Republican or MAGA stupid or try to put them down, or even if even when Trump lies and you call him on his lies, all you're doing is pissing the other side off and reinforcing their
okay, so like every single time that Trump calls us stupid and dumb and calls us fascist, communist, Marxists, right, or calls Kamala Harris the R slur, right, does that make him look worse? Or like has a nickname for every single person that he's running up against? Does that make him look worse to MAGA? Or is MAGA completely okay with doing it to other people, but they're not okay with it happening to themselves?
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Okay, so you're
I'm not disagreeing with
you. All you just said that you're hypocritical. That's it.
Sure, you can say that MAGA are hypocritical.
No, that's not what I'm just saying. That's what the conclusion of your argument was.
If that helps you sleep at night, then that's fine. But you're still losing the elections.
Sleep at night. It's the conclusion of your argument.
The conclusion to my argument is that he plays a game, and he plays it in a way that he wins the game.
He didn't win in 2020.
He won in 2024, and if he runs in 2028, he still holds a good. He still holds a good shot.
You think he has the ability to run in 2028?
No, I don't think he should. Okay. I don't believe that he should, but I think...
No, he doesn't have the ability to. It's unconstitutional. Why did you just say that it's possible for him to do that when it's unconstitutional?
A lot of things are impossible to do, and he's doing it. Don't you agree?
So you think that he's going to violate the 22nd Amendment, and he's going to run for a third term?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, and you support that?
No, I don't support that.
Oh, okay. So then if you don't doubt that he's going to do that, why do you support him? Wait, by the way, if you don't support that, why do you support him?
He's making me rich.
Oh, he's making you rich. So because it makes you rich, you're willing to like harm other Americans?
Oh, no, I wouldn't want anyone to get harmed.
Well,
but
people are getting harmed right now. 42 million Americans are at risk of not being able to eat because literally SNAP is getting cut completely because the federal government, right, is not providing the funds for it when USDA can, because literally in September of this year, they had a specific determination within the context of their own rules that said that they, in the context of a government shutdown, could utilize certain funds, emergency funds, specifically for SNAP benefits. but they're deciding based upon a certain interpretation of the law. They're deciding not to provide those so that they can utilize people starving and not having access to food to try to get Democrats specifically to not support the ACA and Medicaid subsidies. That's what they're doing. They're trying to literally force Democrats into specifically, right, accepting worse off conditions for spending, just because, right, they're going to utilize this mechanism of literally starving people. Right? They don't give a shit about people starving. They don't give a shit about people on food stamps. They're literally risking people getting fucking harmed in terms of starvation to the degree of tens of millions of people in this country because they specifically don't give a shit about Americans and they care more about cutting their health care than they actually care about providing food for them.
You're right. I'm not denying that. You're absolutely right. They're corrupt. And they're winning.
So why do you support them just because they're winning? Hitler won in the context of his own system. Does that mean that it is the case that you would support him?
No.
No. Just because they win doesn't mean you support them, right?
I don't support them for winning. I'm just saying that they are winning.
Okay, so you don't support Trump.
They're playing the game.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I'd vote for my paycheck.
Which is?
Which is who pays me my paycheck.
Who is that?
At this point, I get paid because of Trump.
Okay. So you'll support, if it was Harris in the position of office, would you support Harris?
I don't support his actions. I support his winning.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay. Are you gonna like answer any of my questions, or are you just gonna try to act super vague?
What
do you work for the federal government?
No, I don't.
Then how is he paying your bills?
He's not. I work in sales, and him being in office makes me money.
No, it doesn't. The economy is in a worse off situation because of sales. I mean, because of the tariffs being implemented, which will negatively impact your sales.
You're right. In my situation, I make money from it.
Okay, how are you making money from it?
I work in sales, and I sell merchandise that has to do with Trump.
So you sell Trump merchandise. So how about you don't run a fucking business on only Trump merchandise?
I could, but this sells really well.
So because you're making money off of it, you don't give a shit. So like, dude, this guy, you would sell like literal Nazi merch if it made you money, man.
I don't sell Nazi merch, and I know what you're saying, and I understand how it looks. I understand the optics.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying you would. Right, because you don't give a shit about the morals. You don't give a shit about anything as it relates to that at all. You'll literally like sell merch of a rapist who incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol just because it makes you money.
I sell fuck Trump flags and hats.
You also sell fuck Trump flags and hats, so that makes it okay?
No, I didn't say it makes it okay. I said from the very beginning that it's not about morals. I don't think it's okay one bit. I think it's deplorable.
Okay, so then so if you could go back in time, you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump.
It's not about how I would vote. It's
yes,
about.
It is. I'm just gonna kick you because dude. What are you, Shakespeare? Jesus Christ, dude. Miss Parpy, thank you so much. Really appreciate the. BS Parpy, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Actually, crazy. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria. List on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Let's go on the next individual. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for? Kate, think of the galaxy. Thank you.
Hi. Yeah, I think I'd rather support Trump or vote for Trump. Yeah.
Okay. And why so?
So
Oh, wait, what's your birthday, by the way?
it was 2001.
And you said you're how old?
By the way, 25
And what month were you born?
January.
So you would be
Can I
born
answer,
in
please?
2000 then. What's how old are you?
30 years old.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, Pinhead.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. What's how old are you? Okay. Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. What's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Okay, let's go to the next individual. Oh, okay. Maddie, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much, Maddie. I really appreciate it. Give it to W's for Maddie in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. As well as Autumn, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Thank you so much. Base, what's up? How old are you?
31.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump all day.
Okay, why so?
I mean, he's the best. He's securing our border, getting rid of the illegals, building back the economy. I mean, should I keep going, or do you want to talk about those?
Okay. How's he? So you think it's securing the border to deport people in the country who have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes?
Correct. They came into the country illegally. That would be the crime.
But they haven't committed like a violent crime or bad crime. Like Donald Trump's committed crimes. You don't give a shit about that.
He's been found guilty, but I don't. They're civil, but that's different.
No, he was found guilty in a criminal court as well.
So do you believe that anybody should just be able to come to America who wants to?
I mean, I think that if you haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime, you should be able to come to our country, yeah.
So if you live in Mexico and you're not violent and haven't committed a crime, you can just walk across. So we could have 5 million immigrants this year.
That'd be fun. I'm okay with 5
Yeah, that
million
would
people coming
destroy
to
the
our
U.S.
country in a year.
economy.
No, it wouldn't. That would actually be beneficial for the U.S. economy.
This is why people can't afford
that's
homes.
A little bit less than, it's a little bit less than 2% population growth. I mean, that's totally fine.
About 500,000 a year would be about the perfect number. But this is what happened under Joe Biden.
That'd be cutting immigration in over half, by over half. So it's like, I mean, I don't think that immigration is incredibly positive for our economy. Actually, by 2050, we're going to have a reducing population, according to the Congressional Budget Office, a bipartisan committee from the federal government, and their estimates, particularly on population, because of the fact that we've been below fertility rates since around like the 70s. I mean, at some points we've been at like a little bit above it or around it, but I mean, mostly been under it, which is leading to us going to have a reducing population. So less young people specifically working, more old people specifically on like different social services for longer periods of time because of increasing life expectancy. So if we want the ability to be able to pay for all these programs and keep all the same benefits to the same degree, well, then obviously we want more people coming into our country.
Well, the reason the births have gone down is because people can't afford to have kids. Daycare is $1,200 a month per kid. You almost have to have, one of the stay at home. And this is what happens when you let all the immigrants in. It waters down the workforce.
That has nothing to do with immigration. Now, if you want to talk about not being able to afford childcare, what is Donald Trump's policies to help people afford childcare?
Well, you need better paying jobs. And Democrats want nothing but socialism and everything for free, and taxes go through the roof. That's the problem.
Can you define socialism?
I believe in smaller government. Socialism would be bigger government, more government assistance, subsidies, things of that nature.
Okay. So if socialism equals more government, would you say that like securing the border more because it's more government would equal socialism?
No.
Okay, so then obviously
is that like saying
you don't think
military
government does
is socialism?
So under your view, it would be. So obviously, government does stuff does not equal socialism. So what is socialism?
Okay, what's the definition of socialism? Go ahead. You can show how smart you are.
Workers control the means of production. I'm not a socialist, but I mean, I don't think that Democrats en masse are advocating for the workers to control the means of production, right?
But you look at New York, Mondani is going to get elected, and it's literally none of his things are going to work.
That's an example of like one of the people specifically that would be a socialist. That's a democratic socialist. So I'm confused. That's not the overwhelming aspect of the Democratic Party yet.
Yeah, but I disagree
this idea
with
that you're talking about is ridiculous. He's not even in the position of power yet.
Oh, he's going to get elected. You don't think he'll win? You think?
No, I just said that he's not even in the position of power yet. Yet you're making this idea that like everyone in the Democrats is already socialist, right? The Democrats don't already want socialism. He's not even in a position of power, right? Specifically in terms of the New York mayor yet.
Okay, I just believe in smaller government. I believe in less handouts, lowering taxes, and that's why Trump got elected.
Okay, so Donald Trump is doing handouts for the rich, right? His big, beautiful bill gave massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. So the handouts that you're against are literally just providing food for people in need, right? The
billionaires and millionaires.
The big, beautiful bill cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month, right? 2.5 million people on average every single month off their food stamps, and over 10 million people off their access to health insurance, while adding $3.4 trillion to the debt. So Donald Trump signed off on more debt-related spending, according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, comparative to the Biden-Harris administration. And he specifically is giving that money to massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. So not only is he doing more handouts, but he's giving the handouts to rich people at the expense of working-class Americans.
The people who make more money, the millionaires and the billionaires, already pay way more tax, a way higher percentage than everybody else.
No, they don't.
If you look at the if you look at the federal percentage,
the top billionaires specifically are paying a lower effective tax rate than the working class in this country. So yes, people paying the highest levels of income tax are paying higher percentages in taxes, but for people who specifically have the highest levels of wealth, they're not paying the highest percentage in taxes.
So somebody who makes $1 million in California is going to pay a little over half of their money into taxes.
If it's income
Correct.
tax, then yes, you will. Living in California, yes, you will. But living specifically in other areas and specifically paying things like capital gains, you'll pay significantly less on your taxes. Significantly less. You will not.
And everybody has the same opportunity to do that.
And that's why we're saying there's a lower effective tax rate for the top billionaires than there is for working class Americans. So yes, if you live in California, you will, and you make that much in terms of income, you will pay that much in taxes.
So yeah, the income tax.
That's kind of what we're saying.
The more you make, the higher percentage you pay. The rich already pay their fair share. No, the problem is all the people who are a drain on society who don't pay taxes but take all the subsidies and on welfare for
you mean
20,
by a drain
years.
On society, do you mean people relying on Medicaid and food stamps and Medicare and Social Security?
Well, we can take them one by one.
No, like, seriously, do you want to get rid of all of those programs?
I would get you have to go one by one, but like welfare, when it comes to snaps, you should only be able to be on it for 18 months or 2 years. But you have people literally on it for 20, 30 years.
No, there's no.
Popping out kids.
It caps out after like 3 years, dude. What are you talking about?
Food stamps?
Yeah, where do you see
you're telling me people aren't
30 years?
There's people that have been on food stamps for literally decades.
Where?
You're saying that stops after 2 years?
Where?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You can be on food stamps as long as you have kids. Say if a single woman has 2 kids, you can be on food stamps for years.
20, 30 years. Can you give me a single person that's been on for 20 to 30 years?
I don't have their name, but Google it. If you have kids, say you pop out a couple kids, then 10 years later you pop out a couple more. As long as they're 18 and you don't have a job, you can collect food stamps and get housing and even get a car stipend.
Yeah, so I would love to see.
You're telling me a single mom with 2 kids, 14 and 16, she's been kicked off food stamps after 2 or 3 years?
You're saying that you would cut people off specifically in terms of these circumstances after the age of 7, right? If they don't meet the work requirements, right?
No, I said like you can only be on food stamps for a year and a half, 2 years is where they should cut some of this stuff off. Social Security should be optional, but it's a Ponzi scheme, so it'll all collapse because you don't have enough money to pay out everybody that's collecting, let alone the people who are currently paying in.
What is a Ponzi scheme?
Well, look at Bernie Madoff. The reason he went to prison is because he kept paying out. He never invested the money.
No,
and you look at Social Security, you can't pay out.
I'm going to go crazy. Answer my question.
A Ponzi scheme is taking one person's money to pay out another investor and actually not investing the money.
Okay, so not actually investing the. So you understand that Social Security does invest the money into Social Security.
Yeah, but you do understand if somebody put that money in the
So it's
S&P
not a
500
Ponzi
at
scheme.
6% return,
Wait, no,
you can't pay out.
So you're saying that there's a better and more effective revenue mechanism that we could have for Social Security. I actually agree with you on that. If we were to take the funding specifically and give it to every single American at the point of birth and put it into the S&P 500 or a certain type of index fund, it would have a significant amount of growth by the time they're 65
I agree
years
with
old.
you.
It would be more, and it would be a less of a revenue mechanism to get there. But that's 65 years out, where we'd have to subvert the funding in the long run. So it doesn't mean it's a Ponzi scheme right now, just because it doesn't have the most effective revenue mechanism right now. That's an absurd
The reason I call it a
standpoint.
Ponzi scheme is you can't if you ended
wait,
social.
I have a question. Do you defend the subsidies to Argentina?
I don't even know anything about them, to be honest.
Yeah, like the 40 billion that we're giving to Argentina.
I heard that last week to take them out of bankruptcy.
Yeah, do you support that?
I would say no without enough information on it. No, I would say no. I would say the money to Ukraine, no, as well. That's what Biden did, but I don't agree with everything Trump does.
So I mean, we can point to plenty of these things. In terms of all these things, you support none of the funding specifically for people getting access to food, but you support massive tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires.
Well, that's false when it comes to income. You're talking about capital gains tax and stuff like that. I mean, if you want to change it, go ahead. It don't bother me.
Yeah, that's what.
But if you want to talk about Social
we wanted
Security,
yeah. Kamala Harris.
if I could
is gonna
finish
do
on
that to
Social Security,
28% for income over 1 million in terms of capital gains.
I didn't hear your first part. 28% on capital gains.
28% on capital gains over 1 million.
That's what it is, or that's what you wanted?
In a year, that's what it was specifically under Kamala Harris's plan.
Okay, what was it before Trump changed it?
It's 20%.
What was it before Trump changed it?
Wait, I'm just saying the capital gains has been like this for a while. Donald Trump has done the income tax. I don't know if he. I don't think he affected capital gains.
That was your argument. You said now the rich have to pay less when it comes to capital gains.
No, I was saying that this is already the case.
Okay. But anyway, when it comes to Social Security, the reason I call it a Ponzi scheme is because you can't pay everybody out that has paid into it. They don't have enough money. So say if you dissolved it today, you couldn't pay the people
We
that
won't have enough money because of the fact that the Republicans have set it up in a manner in which there won't be enough money, right, through the Big Beautiful Bill to an earlier extent. By 2032, it's expected not to have enough money, and it's expected to go insolvent according to the Congressional Budget Office because of the Big Beautiful Bill.
I don't know how you come to that, but both sides have taken money out of
I
it.
cited the source.
So what has Trump done with Social Security in his 9 months in office that has drastically taken it down?
Yeah, so I gave you a source that specifically cited it. He even claimed it himself, the deduction for Social Security, right? That would be an example, right?
So because of the deduction he just put in 9 months ago, Social Security is going to be bankrupt in 32. Not to do with all the other stuff that presidents have done, borrowing money from it.
Wait, I'm just saying it's going to happen to an earlier extent because of Trump. That's what I was saying. And by the way, Democrats have brought up plans specifically to fund it and bring up tax revenue to a greater extent in terms of Social Security that would be able to reduce the likelihood of it being insolvent as early.
Well, it's already doomed from the start, like I said, because if you cancel it right now, you couldn't pay everybody out. Not even counting the interest, let alone what they've actually paid in over the years.
Yes, we will be able to pay out specifically if we increase the revenue for Social Security.
Yeah, so you want to keep...
One way to do that would be to get rid of the cap for Social Security that specifically caps it out at a certain level of income in terms of being able to get new revenue from Social Security tax.
Yeah, so you just want to tax the rich more because Social Security stops at, what, 150,000 or something? But yeah, but the same thing goes, when they go to collect, they only get what they paid into it. So if they made $1 million every year, they didn't have to pay the extra $850.
So again, we're talking about society, like specifically, I'd rather tax the rich rather than tax working class people. And if we compare the different administrations, both administrations are advocating for some tax, but Trump is advocating for more taxes on working class people, and Kamala Harris is advocating for less taxes on working class people. More taxes on rich people, whereas Donald Trump's advocating for less taxes on rich people.
Yeah,
it's where you want the tax to be placed, and if you want it to be taxed, or
you can have it equal on everybody.
Well, it's not going to be equal on everybody.
Yeah, you can. Same income percentage.
The idea that a flat tax rate would be equal upon everyone is ridiculous because it doesn't take into account cost of living. Right, cost of living is a greater proportion of your income if you're lower income, comparative to being higher income, in terms of what's necessary for your living.
Yeah, like the way it works now, the first 10 or 12,000 you make, zero taxes, then it's like 10%, then it goes up to 22, 23%.
Like, you aren't taking into account a standard deduction within your policy. You're advocating for a flat tax system.
Yeah, a flat tax. Like a bunch of these government programs should be taken away. Stop wasting tax dollars. And you should have honestly, ideally, it should be about a 10%
So he wants to like
flat
cut Social
tax.
Security. He wants to cut Medicaid. He wants to cut Medicare. He wants to cut all of these different programs that people rely upon, lead people into the dust, so that they literally don't have access to their health insurance and food and child care and basic things that they need, in order to give massive
they
tax
paid
breaks
into
to
them-
millionaires and billionaires, because that's who currently is
No.
paying the tax system.
No, like that's the problem with Social Security. There's not a it's a doomed system, and if you take it away now, it affects people. And long term, it's not going to work either. So, I mean, what's your solution with Social Security?
I already told you the revenue mechanism just subverted over 65 years.
So you want to give people who are born right now $1,000
More than that.
to put in?
That's already been happening, by the way.
Yeah, I think you want to do
don't
7 to
him that.
10,000. Yeah, you want to do 7 to
Donald
10,000.
Trump
at
put that
least.
in practice.
And where's that 10,000 going to come from?
Yeah, that's
For every newborn.
Yes, that's going to have to come through the context of our tax system. I would take that specifically from the context of our military budget. I think that we could easily fund that from a portion of our military budget, because that's from around 7,000. It's around like 30 billion, right? To do 7,000 for each American that's born during a year.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but I just think taxes need to come down for everybody, and less wasteful spending of giving people
inevitably
free
speaking,
stuff.
Harris was advocating for tax breaks for people under $400,000 a year. And Donald Trump was advocating for tax increases because of tariffs. What you're not taking into account is that Donald Trump has imposed massive tariffs that cause an increase in the price of the consumer products.
I agree with that.
Americans overall. And if you
Yeah,
just
the
want a 10%
tariffs-
tax, by the way, that's not going to be enough to be able to fund all of our governmental programs.
That's the problem. You don't need all that extra stuff that gives people
Yes,
stuff,
we do.
handouts for free.
It's not handouts for free. It's ensuring that people have a basic standard of living. So you do you think that free public university is handouts for free?
At a college level, yes.
Do you think that free public school, like K through 12, is a handouts for free?
No.
No. Okay. Why is that not handouts for free, but university
Well,
is?
you have to educate the youth up until I'm fine with the K through 12 system. Most of it's paid
So
through property tax.
Wait. But that's you just advocated for taxes, though.
Yeah, but where are you
fund
going to draw
other
the
people's
line?
education?
Yeah, but where do you draw the line?
Isn't
Because
that
if
a
you want free
handout?
college,
aren't you giving a handout to everyone of education?
well, you're required to go to school.
So you agree with handouts? You just
I
want to
wouldn't
give free
classify that
handouts
as
to
a
everyone.
I wouldn't
handouts to
classify-
everyone of education.
I wouldn't classify K through 12 as a handout.
Oh, okay. So then, if K through 12 isn't a handout because it's a base necessity for people to get access to, well, then why wouldn't you say the same thing for like access to health insurance or food or housing affordability? Like, you understand all of those things are going to be important.
Yeah, but you just brought up college. You think college should be free? That everybody's debt should be wiped out? This is the problem with the Democrats. They just want everything for free. Take my debt away.
by the way-
Free public university is not saying that every college should be free. It's saying that there should be free public alternatives.
Yeah, and by the way, the Republicans do the exact same thing. They give bailouts. They give subsidies to farmers. They give subsidies to oil companies, right? When they don't want them to fail, they don't want them to have to suffer the consequences of what they decided to get into. So they bail them out. But yet when we ask that hardworking Americans who were put in debt by college because our parents told us to go to college, and all of society says you have to do this to be successful, when we want it, all of a sudden it's like socialism.
So I'm against subsidies when it comes to farmers. They should take all that stuff away. And if you're going to wipe out people's student loan debt, the people who didn't go to college, are you going to give them a $100,000 check?
No, because in government, things are inherently unfair. Because right now, I don't have any children. Right now, people with children are actually getting subsidies I cannot get. right? That is unfair to me. But guess what? I'm okay with that because I know children in our society being well educated and having a good family that has money means that I live in a society that does better. So I'm okay with that, even though I am not benefiting.
It's
So
called
what
the,
subsidies
it's
for
called the
children are you
American.
talking
It's
about?
called the American dream that you want it to be better for your children and for the people that come after us than it was for us. So if we want society to progress, technically it was unfair to the society that came before us. Like the people who specifically didn't have access to free education in terms of K through 12 education prior to it being free could have said the same thing. Are they going to get money specifically for that because of all the money that they had to put into into their education, right? Because other people are now getting it for free? No, you wouldn't.
You're
say
talking
that.
back in
That'd
the
be obviously
1800s.
absurd. The early 1900s. Yes, I am. And that was obviously a legit point that you should respond to, but you just decided not to respond to and just decided to say that it was 100 years ago.
It was back in the 1800s. I mean, I had like great grandparents who went to school in 1918. It was a smaller school. They'd have multiple grades together. I'm all for K through 12.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the people who came prior to that point that never got free public
Yeah, but where do you
education-
draw the line of all this free stuff that the Democrats want to hand out? This is why.
Okay, that's the point that we would talk about, is specifically within our means. Right? And it is the case that it's within our means. If it's within our means to specifically give massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires, it's within our means to specifically provide access to health insurance for everyone in the context of this country who needs it. It's specifically enough for us to be able to provide childcare for people who need it, enough to provide housing affordability, to provide people access to basic needs, right? Like, you understand that we can provide people access to food and still have governmental money left over. It's a small portion of our budget.
Yeah, but you're rewarding bad behavior. Like if somebody doesn't want to get a job
Bad
and get
behavior when
insurance.
who asked that question in terms of 2008, the massive bailouts for corporations? Like, no, like seriously,
I
it's
agree with
always
you.
like what Matt said earlier. It's always an issue to bail out the American people that need it, that are working, but it's never an issue to bail out billionaires. It's never an issue
Also,
to bail
by-
out people like Donald Trump when he
Yeah.
when he has fucking 6 different bankruptcies, when he specifically literally bankrupt 2 different casinos, right? When it is the case that he specifically, right, we can point to all he literally agreed with the bailouts of different companies. He has done it himself. He wants to bail out.
So why didn't
farmers
Biden
even,
change any of these laws?
because of his
They
policies.
talked about this in the 2016
Biden
election.
advocated for it. Biden can't change everything because he has to get things done through Congress. There's compromise that happens in the context of Congress, and Biden did a
It's
lot
the
to try to do
same.
that.
It's-
Biden, some of the most policy passed of any candidate ever in U.S. history. The bipartisan infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act. The main issue that Biden had was not being able to take credit for any of it. Because he wasn't like Donald Trump, taking credit for every fucking little thing, even if it doesn't apply to him.
It's the same thing Trump said to Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. If you want to change it, but they don't, because that's what the billionaires, Democratic donors want as well. So you're almost against your own party then.
Says the side who specifically literally constantly votes against us being able to change it, or the Democrats are specifically advocating to change it. What do you
There's
mean?
130
You act
billionaires.
like Democrats are the only ones in Congress.
130 billionaires gave money. 80 of those gave money to Harris in support of the Democrats. I would argue the Democrats have way
the
more billionaire
The
donors.
Republicans are in power right now. If they wanted to specifically do what they wanted to do, they would do it, right?
Well, they can't reopen the government because Chuck Schumer and all of them want to shut it down because that's the only bargaining chip
but
they
they're
have.
in power. But they're in power, right?
You still have to get 60,
isn't it the
60 in the
president's
House?
fault? Like Donald Trump said in 2014 that it was the president's fault specifically for not getting the country to come together to actually make a deal.
So why
to
is the
keep
government shut
afloat?
down right now? Because the
Because of Donald
Democrats
Trump.
won't vote yes.
No,
They need,
because
what, 6 or
Republicans
7 of
because
them?
Republicans are making up lies saying that we're advocating for health care for undocumented immigrants while they're specifically trying to give massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires to a greater extent because they want to get rid of the cuts specifically, or they want to cut Medicaid and the ACA.
I would disagree with that because they do want to give health insurance to illegal.
No, they don't.
Illegals.
Wait,
and it's the
not-
only.
Wait, what health insurance are we giving to undocumented immigrants from a federal perspective?
If an undocumented immigrant walks into a ER or a hospital, they have to be seen.
That's not health insurance.
That's not
And
insurance.
Are you saying that
Well,
doctors?
who pays it?
Wait, are you saying that
The
doctors,
hospital doesn't send them a
are you
bill, but they
saying-
increase
that's
the bills
it's
on
not
the
health
payers.
insurance, but I'm asking this question: do you think that doctors, if someone is dying on the operating table, do you think they should clarify if they're in the country legally before they save their life?
Under your hypothetical,
No, I'm asking
no.
you.
But they
You
shouldn't.
don't-
They shouldn't.
What? Wait. Okay, wait. Sorry,
It shouldn't matter if they.
Wait. I
Shouldn't matter if they have insurance or not in that
Stop. Sorry, I misinterpreted what you said. You said that they shouldn't specifically, they shouldn't determine whether or not they are legally in the country, right? Or they should.
I feel like I'm answering it wrong. If somebody walks in the ER and has a medical problem, they should be seen whether they have insurance, don't have insurance, immigrant, whatever.
Yes, yes.
But they shouldn't be in our
exactly.
country to
They
begin with.
shouldn't check immigration status before they save their life. Okay, so then you agree with that.
I agree.
So you agree with healthcare for undocumented immigrants.
Under that scenario, the way you phrase it, yeah. But
That's
what Trump's doing by
what you
rounding
were
them
bringing
up,
up.
kicking them out.
That's what you were bringing up as an issue that Democrats support.
They want insurance, health insurance
That's
for the
not health
illegals.
insurance.
It's absolutely in the bill.
That's
That's
not
not
true.
health insurance.
You can actually read the proposal that the Democrats actually submitted in it. The word illegal, the word undocumented, is never in there. It's not even in the it's in the document, right? They say legal migrants, people here on green cards, people here who are on visas, people who are meant to be here and are in the process. They want to give them health insurance. Why? Because they're paying taxes.
They're not all paying taxes. Most of them are getting the money under the table.
If they're legal and they have a visa and they have a green card, they don't need.
Well, that's
to go
completely
that
different
route.
than illegal.
Which is what I just said, right? You can read the actual policy that the Democrats drafted. It's free. It's open. You can go read it. It says visa, green card, things like that. It doesn't say undocumented.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't read the 1,000-page bill.
Well, then don't make claims then. Like, why the fuck are
You
are
haven't read the
lying?
1,000-page bill either.
I read the section of it which states who they're giving health insurance to. You clearly didn't, and you're on here lying about the Democrats wanting to give undocumented migrants free health care.
Well, I don't back down. They want to give free health care to them. They want as many of them in the country as they can because they want to get them citizenship because statistically they're going to vote Democrat.
No, we want undocumented immigrants in the country because we don't want them to be inhumanely deported when they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime or have no criminal history outside of coming to the country undocumented. You care so much.
Did you
about the
see what
crime
happened when
specifically
Biden
committed.
just-
You care so much about the misdemeanor of people coming to the country undocumented. You care so much about that.
Yes.
You don't care about the felonies that Donald Trump has committed. The incitement of a violent insurrection at the Capitol where he pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and then he called them patriots. You don't
That's
give a
the
shit
biggest
about
joke ever.
violations of the law in any of those circumstances.
He did-
But if an undocumented immigrant violates the law, they should be held accountable to the highest extent of the law under your view.
That's the biggest joke ever. Trump did nothing wrong on January 6th. He held a protest. The people
He
were
did nothing
responsible for their
wrong.
own
He
actions.
pardoned violent
100%.
rioters that beat police officers, and he called them patriots. What do you mean he did nothing wrong? What are you talking about? He told people to go to the Capitol to fight like hell and to take back the country from those that stole it from them.
Yeah, transpose what Donald Trump said and did on January 6th and replace it with Joe Biden or Obama. And if Obama did the exact same thing or said the exact same thing that Trump did, would people on the right be saying that like he tried to lead like a coup or like an insurrection? I guarantee you they would.
Wait, also, by the way, he just left. Is he saying that he would support like undocumented immigrants coming to the country to a greater extent if they voted Republican?
Maybe, I don't know. But we'll never know because he left.
Maybe. Raiden, thank you so much. I really appreciate the galaxy. Thank you. Kristen, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Can we get some W's for Kristen in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Kristen. I really appreciate the $100 on Venmo. Thank you so much. W's for Kristen in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. W's for Kristen. Thank you. Thank you. Let me make sure I'm caught up completely. Jay, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Madeline, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Lauren, thank you for the $10. Olivia, thank you so much for the $2. Don't worry. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we some W's for them in the comment section right now? Let's go on to the next individual, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty, do give it a second. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
August 5th, 2005.
Okay. You said you're how old? Sorry?
I'm 20.
What's your birth year? August 5th?
August
sorry.
5th,
I
2005,
apologize.
yeah. No, you're good.
Apologize.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I have
if-
my,
yes, I
AirPods
do.
on.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would still vote for Donald Trump.
And why is that?
It's going to sound sexist, but I believe that a man is better off leading the country than a woman.
Oh, okay. So if Kamala Harris and Donald Trump swapped bodies, like Kamala Harris and Donald Trump's body and Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's body, who would you rather vote for?
That's a good question. If they swap bodies,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I still don't like support the fact that Kamala Harris
No.
supports
So
abortion.
so who would you support? Would you support Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's body, or Kamala Harris and Donald Trump's body?
Like it just like if their minds and like everything switched as well.
Yeah, like their consciousness switched. Like, have you ever watched Freaky Friday?
No, I've never seen that.
Or
But
Jumanji?
yeah,
You watched the movie Jumanji?
yeah, I watched Jumanji.
Okay, you go into a character in the game, and you play a character that is like of a different gender, right? You're still you, right, in the brain. So you're still sorry, what's your name? Let me look. You're still Ricky.
It's Ricky.
Right,
Yeah.
but like in the game, you're playing as a different character, right? So
Yeah.
like in this context, think of it that way, right? There you put Kamala Harris's consciousness into the body of Donald Trump, and you put Donald Trump's consciousness into the body of Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for? Donald Trump in Kamala Harris's body, or Kamala Harris in Donald Trump's body?
I'd probably vote for Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's body.
Kamala Harris's body. Okay, so you would vote for a woman then?
Not necessarily.
Wait,
Because
yes, you would, because Kamala. Wait,
the
so
consciousness they switched.
So is gender
a man and a woman?
Wait, hold up. Maybe there's one way you could possibly get out of this.
Okay.
Right? Is
Gosh.
gender social or biological?
Biological.
Okay, so if it's biological, doesn't that necessitate that in this context that Donald Trump would be a woman?
You're right, but it is biological. But
so then
what
you
makes
would vote.
a woman?
So then you would vote for a woman over a man, given that
No, I
woman was
wouldn't.
Donald Trump.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. So you would vote for Kamala Harris in Donald Trump's body?
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. So you wouldn't vote?
At that point, probably not. If someone can step up, as a man,
If they
same as
just
Donald Trump.
swapped bodies, nothing changes about their ideology, their personality, anything about them. If they just swapped bodies, he would change his vote, dude.
If someone,
He would change his vote. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You would change your vote just
honestly-
because they swapped bodies, dude. They're the
Yes.
same person, the exact same person, just in a different body, and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna vote for them. It has nothing to do with their characteristics, with their policies, their ideology, anything with that. It's just because of their biology.
Because I get what you mean. Honestly, if someone else came in, like, honestly, don't really support everything that Donald Trump does. I'm not even into politics like that. The whole Republican, Democrat, I'm not even really into that. Doesn't really matter to me. I just rather have
seriously.
like it's more.
So then why would you? You said this is going to sound misogynistic. I think it's because you already knew it was, right?
Yeah.
I have a question, right? Who would you rather be president? Your mom or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Nikki Haley or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Dude, okay, yeah, he's taking Joe Biden all the way. Okay, so is just any man? Okay, I have a question: Kamala Harris or Hitler? He's cooked.
Why are you pausing?
Why are you pausing? What is this pause, dude?
Why is this taking so long?
Why is this taking so long?
This should have been an instantaneous thing.
I guess we're going Hitler all the way. You feel me?
Nah, you're trolling.
He's
Get off my
trolling.
stream.
I'm sorry.
Get off my stream. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way. Like, he's either really stupid or he's just trolling. Like, there's no way.
He has to be trolling. I'm going to assume he's trolling because I don't want to believe that. Like,
I don't want to believe that someone could possibly be that stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly, for the $5 on Venmo. Thanks so much, Kelly.
Yo.
Back to you. Thank you.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
What's your birth year?
June 12th, 2002.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Shit, Trump.
Okay. Why so?
Because he better. What the fuck? That bitch is stupid as fuck.
Wait, don't refer to her that way. Why do you think she's stupid?
Oh, I'm sorry. That hoe stupid as hell.
No, don't refer to her that way either. Why do you think she's stupid?
Oh, that cunt is stupid as hell.
Don't. Okay. What is the point of doing this?
Shut your bitch ass
Is
up.
it
Who
like
talking
fun
to
for you
like
to do
that,
that?
Yeah, it's fun for me. I smack you in your mouth. Stop talking to me like that.
Okay, we're just going to go into the next person, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
What's your birth year?
September 22nd, 2007.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why so?
Actually, mind if I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Why are you so feminine? Just a genuine question. I got a question for you. I see you all the time. Why are you so feminine?
What makes you think that I'm feminine?
The way you speak, paint your nails, you do all this like fruity ass shit. Like, come on. Oh,
Okay.
you can wash it off. Come on.
Okay, well, I mean, I have painted my nails. What's wrong with painting your nails?
That's
Just
feminine.
just like JD Vance?
I don't give a fuck about politics.
What the fuck, dude? What is wrong with all of these people sending guest requests right now? What's going on?
The youth of America.
What is going on? We're just getting like slurs and like trolls and I don't know what's going on. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Dude, what the fuck, dude? This is actually so disgusting. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 38. Sorry, Parker. I didn't mean to join. I appreciate you, though.
You're good. You're good. Appreciate you. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Dude, this
Sometimes
is so
I wish the
horrible.
internet was not like anonymous, so that these people would be known and like suffer the consequences of what they're saying. Like they wouldn't be doing this
horrible.
if they would suffer consequences.
It's horrible. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No.
Okay. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. I have a few people to thank here in the meantime. Billy Jane, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Thank you so much. Good of W's for Billy Jane in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. W's for Billy Jane in the comment section right now. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Kristen with the $100 on Venmo. Holy shit, can we have some W's for Kristen in the comment section right now? Thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Kristen. And Kelly with the $50. Thank you so much, Kelly. Can we get some W's for Kelly in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. That is so kind of you, Kelly. That is so kind of you. Can we get some W's for Kelly in the comment section right now as well? Thank you so much. W's for Kelly. I really appreciate it. Xavier, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. That's true. He is. Suzanne, thank you for the $5. Mark with the $3. Thank you so much. And Dr. Sonia, thank you so much for the $75 on Cash App. Can we get some W's for Dr. Sonia in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Seriously, that is so fucking kind. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
I'm not American, not. I'm 19. 19, one not.
Oh. Their microphone was very bad. It was hard to hear them. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
27.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
What's your birth year?
98.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump, all the way.
Okay, why so?
Because I'm a first responder, so and he backs up first responders.
Wait, say that again?
He's a first responder.
He supports first responders.
Really? How
Not
so?
like
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala didn't support.
Hello? Okay, they just left. All right. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. All right, do give it a second, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
32?
Do you support Donald Trump?
Of course.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump all the way.
Okay, why so?
Because I work at a government facility fixing fuel pumps that go on military aircraft, and we get funded by the military.
Okay, wouldn't you get deals under both administrations?
Under Biden, we didn't have overtime.
What? You got overtime under Biden as well, probably, because that's not determined by the federal government.
During Trump's first year, we were on overtime 10 hours a day the whole year.
Wouldn't that be
During Biden,
determined
it
by
wasn't.
Wouldn't that be determined by your private company that you work for?
No, it's military contracts.
Yeah, you get contracts with the federal government, but I doubt they put anything in the contracts that say that like you can't get overtime or something.
Well, the more work you have, the more military contracts you have, the more work you have.
Okay, all right. So
So
you have more
during the
military.
first-
Are you
during the
saying that you
first
have more
summer-
military contracts under Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you would say that we should go to war because that would give you more military contracts?
No, I'm saying we should have a strong military so we don't have to go through war peace by strength.
Okay, you understand that we would have
Peace
a
through
strong
strength.
military under the Biden-Harris administration as well, right?
No, absolutely not. Remember, she said we didn't have any active military members in war zones. Remember that during the debate?
Yeah.
She didn't even know what was going on in the world. She's supposed to be the border czar. We got millions of people flooding through the
was not
border.
a border czar. So the idea that she was a border czar was a Republican propagandistic talking point that was not true at all. The only authority that she was granted specifically by Biden at the border was to raise private funds for Central American countries to reduce the likelihood of people coming here due to economic insecurity, which she raised over $5 billion in private funds for Central American countries to reduce the likelihood of people coming here due to economic insecurity. So the idea that she was like the quote-unquote border czar across the border and is responsible for people coming across the border is one, ridiculous. Two, right, people coming across the border specifically to a greater extent is actually not a bad thing. The immigration surge that happened under the Biden-Harris administration is going to lead to an $8.9 trillion increase in the GDP by 2034, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Did you know that?
So when she sat down with Lester Holt and he called her the border czar, that wasn't a real interview?
Wait, which one?
The Lester Holt interview?
And did she say
where
that
he
she
goes,
was-
have you been to the border? And she goes, well, I haven't been
That's
to
not
Europe.
saying borders are. Yeah, in that circumstance, she
she
went
was
to
a
the border.
self-proclaimed border czar. She said she was.
No, she never said she was the border czar. That's a lie.
Sure she did.
What? No, she didn't. Can you give me? Do you want to bet on that?
So did Joe Biden call her the border czar?
No, I don't think Joe Biden called her the border czar, like originally, like maybe like
So
as
where
like
did
a-
that
then,
term
like
come from?
that from the Republicans.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Lester Holt never used the border czar title.
Well, she was supposed to be.
No.
No, that doesn't exist.
So
Well, she claimed she was trying to get
this
to
is
the
like a
root
made-up
problems
thing.
of immigration, and she didn't solve anything. Just got worse.
Wait, so she actually did try to address those, right, specifically, right, which she did. So the idea that it got worse, it didn't get worse within the respect that she had access to. Right, it got better because of her.
No, it didn't get better.
It did. We just gave you reasons to say that it got better. Do you have any response to that?
Yeah, there's like 0 people coming through the border since Trump got in the second term.
So
no it's gotten
people
better
coming
through
across
force,
into the country is
not
not a good thing.
politics. People coming in legally is a good thing. People jumping across the border, not knowing who's in here, like one of the people who participated in the October 7th massacre, the Hamas member, they just found in Louisiana, sending emails to his friends over in Palestine and wherever, saying, "Yeah, come here. The border's wide open." You know, they found a Hamas member in Louisiana who came
under
through the
Trump
border.
administration?
No, under the Biden administration.
Okay, I would like to see specifically any of that information. It sounds like you got that directly from Fox News, Newsmax, or maybe even Alex Jones.
No, that's true. Go look it up.
From where? What's your source?
Type it in on Google. I'm sure it'll come up on CNN. It'll come out a bunch.
So, I mean, I'd love to see that because genuinely, in general, what policy did the Biden-Harris administration pass to increase the likelihood of people who have committed violent offenses coming to the country? Because did you know that undocumented immigrants commit multiple times lower rates of violent crime, drug crime, property crime comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens?
What policy? There was no policy.
Okay, if there was no policy difference, then can you specifically address the fact that the Biden-Harris administration wouldn't have caused that then?
The lack of a border policy is what led to the surge. The lack of doing nothing.
Wait, so then how did they change the policy then? What policies did they get rid of?
Trump put the military down there like you're supposed to shut it down.
So you're saying
that's all
that,
it takes. This isn't rocket science.
So
you don't
saying,
need policies. You need
did you know at the
force.
end of Trump's first administration that there was a higher level of border crossings on a daily average comparative to the end of Biden's administration in 2024?
I don't believe those statistics.
So you don't believe them? Well, it's true.
Yeah. So where do those statistics come from? What's your source?
Yeah, I can show you a political article that obviously goes over the fact that there were less border crossings on a daily average at that particular point. It reports upon the particular numbers from the federal government.
Yeah, and what news source is that?
I just told you.
No, you didn't. You said you could show me a political article. You didn't say where it came from.
Politico.
Oh, Politico.
Which is right-leaning, by the way.
Whatever. If you guys don't want to believe that there was an insane amount of people who came over the border during the Biden administration, you guys are in denial.
Wait, okay.
Would you agree that
on a daily average at the end of the Biden administration, it was less than the daily average at the end of the Trump first administration?
So what about now? Would you agree that basically it's at a record low?
Well, it's low, but I don't think that's good. I think that's actually worse for our country. I think our country should be able to have a faster and quicker legal immigration process, and I think that Donald Trump has violated multiple of our constitutionally protected rights, right? And has specifically put people literally in prison and detain them without due process for over 100 days, specifically in cases specifically for just saying free Palestine, right? For free speech. Right. Obviously, we can point to specifically Donald Trump passing an executive order to put people in prison for a year for burning the American flag, which has been determined by the Supreme Court to be a violation of the First Amendment. We could talk about how ICE agents have not been identifying themselves, have been going into areas without search and seizure specifically, right, and have absolutely not been acknowledging the due process, have not been following through with that, along with the fact that we can point to explicit examples where Donald Trump has literally violated Supreme Court orders on how to deport people.
Well, that's what happens when you let in tons of gang members and
undocumented immigrants commit multiple times lower rates of violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the United States comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens.
So you think we should just let in some more to basically bump up those statistics? We have enough problems here.
No, they're less likely to commit these types of. If you care about violent crime,
don't throw shit on top of shit.
I'm sorry. If you don't want to release,
we got our own problems here.
If you don't want to release,
just add to the problems.
Yeah, our problems are MAGA. You understand that Donald Trump incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol and pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers, and he called them patriots. So if you don't want violent rioters to be literally put into the country, violent offenders to be sent into our country, then why did you vote for a guy that pardoned violent rioters and released them into our country?
Well, a lot of those people were put away unjustly. A lot of those people didn't get
the people who assaulted police officers. They did. They got due process. They were convicted of literally assaulting police officers. What do you mean they didn't get due process? They got due process and were convicted of assaulting police officers. A lot of those people
did not get fair trials.
Wait,
we're talking about the violent offenders.
Wait, Parker, do you see how now he's concerned about due process?
Yes,
and
now
he's concerned about now he's concerned about it. Before, he didn't give a shit about it.
Literally.
No, I don't care about due process for somebody like that MS-13 gang member.
Wait, so then you don't care about due process for violent rioters, right?
People who come into this country illegally shouldn't get due process.
Do you care about due process for violent rioters who beat police officers while inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol?
A lot of those people have been hardworking Americans their whole lives. And they've seen what was happening.
You will never say that about the undocumented immigrants. That's specifically where Donald Trump is sending in ICE specifically to go into areas where people are working that have lived there for decades, that have families that are there, that have entire lives that have been built here. And he's sending people in masked without identification to literally strip them and kidnap them out of their communities and deport them.
Yeah. So if you've been here for decades, why haven't you got a citizenship yet?
You
Don't you think that's enough?
Because our current legal immigration process takes too long.
It takes too long, really. Well, I've known people, family members who came here, and they've went through the correct process. So why do other people have the right to jump in front of them?
Well, no, that doesn't.
You think that's fair?
It doesn't necessarily jump in front of someone because they never went in the line.
Well, you're
in the first
advocating
place.
for these people.
I'm advocating that
There's
they should
a way
be
to come in
provided
this country.
I'm advocating that undocumented immigrants who are in the country who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime should be given a pathway to citizenship, where if they have not committed a violent crime or bad crime, again, because it would be able to get them to go through a vetting process and actually incentivize them to specifically identify themselves to authorities. That's the important process, and then we provide a quicker process for people to come in through the legal process. But Donald Trump is actively
so let's reward bad behavior.
undermined advocation specifically for a faster and quicker immigration process. In the legal context.
You come into illegally, you break the law, and then you get rewarded with citizenship.
You rewarded Donald Trump with the position of president after he broke laws. He was convicted and sentenced to literally 34 felonies, and you specifically didn't want him to get sentenced to any prison time, so you decided specifically to vote for him so that he specifically was not held accountable for the crimes that he committed. That's just one of the things I can point to.
Or, by the way, by pardoning people that did an actual riot and actually beat police officers, that's actually saying that we're okay with that behavior too.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
people who admitted it, people who then, after they were pardoned, went on to do more felonies, and people who claimed that they want to unalive politicians, right? Yeah, these are good people, right?
Yeah, let's go firebomb Tesla dealerships, 2 assassination attempts on the president.
Name a Democratic candidate that advocated for pardoning anyone who committed that violence.
Well, basically, Democrats. Tim Walz let his city burn down during the BLM riots.
Name a single Democrat. Name a single Democrat in Congress that specifically advocated to pardon anyone who's committed violence.
At the Democratic elections, they say they basically advocated for health care for all illegals. These people.
Why are you pivoting? Why are you pivoting? Answer my question. Name one single Democrat that specifically advocated for pardoning people who committed violence.
Wait.
Pretty much
it's the whole Democratic Party. Name one Democratic member. Then, if it's the whole party, name one.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries.
Joe Biden. Who did Joe Biden?
Who's the guy?
No. Stop. Who did Joe Biden? Who did Joe Biden advocate to pardon? He could have pardoned anyone. Tell me, who did he advocate to pardon that committed a violent offense?
His crackhead son.
Okay. By the way, I have to kick you now because you can't say that on live. But there was no violent offense that Hunter was convicted of. What is this guy talking about, bro? You can't say that on the live though. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Kelly, thank you for the $15. Thank you so much, Kelly, on Cash App. Thank you. Noah, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Tracy with the $100. Can we get some W's for Tracy in the comment section right now for the $100? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's for Tracy? That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. W's for Tracy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tess, for $5. Thank you so much.
How are you doing today, Parker?
Good. Do you support Donald Trump?
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, I support Donald Trump. I also hate niggers, Jews, cocks, and spick.
What a fucking horrible person.
Thank you,
Kelly.
Kelly.
The next individual, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
34.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, for sure. Can I say thank you to a few people and then we can go on with our conversation?
Yeah.
For sure. I have a few people to thank real quick, everyone. A few people to thank. Let me catch up here on YouTube real quick. Let me hit a refresh real quick. Give me 1 second, everyone. Jay, thank you so much for the $10. Viper with the $10. Thank you so much, Viper. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Rachel with the $10. Thank you. Maria with the $10 as well. Thank you so much. Maddie with the $20. Thank you so much, Maddie. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And for Rachel, they said, to those in places that ICE is hunting, please consider buying bulk whistles and handing them out in areas and spaces affected. Google whistles. They work. Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Maddie, they said, I asked this earlier in Dean's Live, but did you see the AP article this morning about the Trump administration rolling back medical debt guidelines Biden enacted? Just one more example, they're harming us. I actually did not see that quite yet. That's fucking crazy. That's absolutely unhinged. That's absolutely unhinged. That is literally just them going after people getting access to healthcare. Stanza, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give me some W's for Stanza in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it definitely does have an impact on the rest of the world to some degree. Garrett, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Zeno, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Scott, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, everyone. I think I'm fully caught up. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Actually, I do have Emily. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. I was thinking about it. And then Michi, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. All right. So, why do you support Donald Trump?
Thank you to Sarah for the $5. Sorry, I have to
go for it.
get this in real quick. Thank you to Sarah for the $5, and thank you to Chanel. I think I got that right. Thank you for the 30. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And thank you to Ashley for the $5 too. Thank you all both so much. Big loves. Okay, El Rouge, you may go.
Yeah, I was just going to say the reason why I support Donald Trump is because I agree with most of the policy positions of the Republican platform, and I would never think that we would need to be a socialist nation or lean towards those benefit programs when I grew up my entire life watching them be abused by not only my mother but my sister, by other family members, where you live in a toxic culture like these people that jump on here and shoot vulgarities at you on a live on TikTok, and then they're the same people that are, you know, sitting at home playing video games and getting resources from the rest of us.
Okay, so what can you define socialism?
I think it's, to me, socialism would be like taking from like people who work and are successful to give to those without.
So no, that's not what socialism is.
As a means of equality.
Socialism is when the workers democratically control the means of production. If you want to reference socialism, that's what it is. But what you're referencing are just social programs providing things for people in need by taxing those that specifically have made money, right? Which I'm totally okay with, and I pay taxes, and I'm totally okay with doing that for the benefit of society. Are you saying that like people shouldn't receive any benefits in terms of like say free public school? Firefighters shouldn't get rid of the fire on their house. The cops shouldn't protect them. They shouldn't get access to free public roads.
No, those are more of a local level. I'm talking about federal government programs with, like, in regards.
Fighters shouldn't get access to free public roads.
No, those are more of a local level. I'm talking about federal government programs. I know firsthand. Like,
wait, what do you mean by their abuse for food so that they can feed their families?
You know, like whenever your boyfriend is a dealer of sorts, the father of your children, like my sister, and you have a barbecue every weekend, spending the entirety of your kids' things only because your brother will send you money to buy Easter eggs for your children.
So you're saying some parents could spend food stamps like in not the best way, and that means that people shouldn't get access to food stamps in general?
Well, I'm saying there should be greater restrictions because of abuses like that. You need.
Okay, so what restrictions are you advocating for?
It should be something along the lines of like probation, where you have regular urine analysis and job application.
They already
stuff.
have that for
like,
some programs.
Yeah, but I'm saying it should be greater because it's only some programs.
Like in what areas? Like what specifically would you like to change specifically?
I can't think of one exactly, but that's in regards to that. That's what I'm saying.
So it sounds like you're not even advocating for a policy. You're just saying that you don't want people to abuse the system. Well, I would argue that this is a very small portion of the budget. If you actually want to talk about abuses on the system, why don't we talk about the massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires that Donald Trump is doing specifically while increasing taxes on working class Americans through tariffs, right? Like I think that's like going to be harmful to working class Americans to a significantly greater extent than if you would reference specifically people getting access to food. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't think the tariffs are going to be that drastic, honestly. Like, to tariff something isn't necessarily gonna like raise the price through the roof. I mean, you're talking about a few dollars here and there.
We can actually compare prior to the tariffs and after the tariffs, the prices now. We have good analyses on these, and basic household goods have skyrocketed 10, 20, 30%, right? Basic household amenities have gone up. No one now is really debating that like prices have gone up, because about half the time the like big chains have like tried to absorb the cost, but now they're starting to pass that on. And so that's what we're seeing. Beef at all-time high, coffee, chocolate, all these basic amenities, right? People are warning people that when they go out to shop for like Halloween treats, that the price is going to be through the roof. Why? Because we're tariffing all those things.
You don't think it's more of a result of inflation over the past 20 years?
No.
Wait, inflation over the past 20 years is made worse by tariffs. Tariffs put upward pressure on prices.
No, I'm saying that the pricing is increased. Like, it's the same reason why whenever I was a kid, you could buy a candy for
prices
like 15
increased
cents.
to a greater extent because of tariffs being implemented.
Yeah, we can chart the graph. Like we can match up the price, and then as soon as the tariff hit, and then you can see as soon as the tariff hit, boom, it like shoots up. Like, again, no one really is doubting this anymore because we have good evidence for it.
But won't it eventually? The plan is for it to level out, right? Like it's
because certain things we can't make here. We can't grow coffee here. We can't grow chocolate here, right? We can't grow certain foods here, and so
that's why you introduce a more equal trade.
Wait, so if we're tariffing countries that have those particular goods, then it's going to make those goods more expensive because we can't produce them here.
Yeah, but then you export the things that they don't have.
What? You mean you trade with them? You reduce the level of trade when you impose tariffs. Which
equal
causes
trade is what we had
price
before.
to go up because there's a reduction in the supply. A reduction in the supply.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm just not informed enough on it.
Sure. Well, I have a degree in economics. I'm just telling you based upon like what I've learned in school, right? This is how tariffs operate, and they cause an increase in the price of consumer products because it's passed on to the American business importing the product, and it's passed on to the consumer. And they can only eat the cost insofar as like, you know,
for so long,
which
is why they waited like maybe 4 or 5 months, because Trump was always like one off, one on, one off, one on. But now it's starting to pass it on because it's starting to bite heavily into their like margins, and so now it's starting to pass it on. So right around Halloween, and then as soon as you get into Thanksgiving, and then definitely as you get into Christmas, prices will be higher.
Okay. Yeah. Well, besides the tariffs and stuff, I agree with him on the immigration policies and things of that nature as well. So it's another reason why I support him.
What about it?
I think that they need to deport more people and
Do you
make
support the way they're going about it? They like rounding up of people. They're like using tear gas. The fact that they're using race as a qualifier at like Home Depots and places where we had a report out that ICE detained illegally 170 citizens solely because they were judging them because they were Latino.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that we all know that most of the immigrants come from the Central American countries.
Wait, you don't agree? So hold on. No, I don't get this straight. You're okay with American citizens being illegally detained in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights because it happened to be that some like undocumented migrants happen to be of that ethnicity. You're saying that you're okay with violating American citizens' Fourth Amendment rights?
I mean,
because of race.
I think that we all agree to certain terms whenever you live in a society.
What?
No, I do not agree to anybody's Fourth Amendment rights being violated in any way whatsoever. I'm an absolutist on that.
Okay. Well, my father immigrated here.
Yes,
illegally.
and
It took 20 years to get his citizenship.
Yeah, and guess what?
It
He
shouldn't have
should
taken
never
that
have
long,
his Fourth.
and he should never have lost his Fourth Amendment right. Right? No one in this country should lose their Fourth Amendment right. Do you agree with us there? Like that's an incredibly important right.
and that racial profiling is bad.
Yeah, can you agree with us that racial profiling is bad?
No, I can't agree that racial profiling is bad because
You
I live
can't?
in the
You
real
can't
world.
agree?
Wait,
No.
do you know what that is? I would
Yes, I
clarify.
know what racial
Okay,
profiling is.
what is it? Please describe it for me.
It's judging someone based on the color of their or the complexion of their skin.
To do what?
Oh, you're cutting out.
You're
We
breaking
can't
up.
hear you.
Judging them based on based on their race in order to do what?
Are
Fucking
you going
MAGA
to say
mobile now.
persecute them?
Well, I mean that's one way that you can look at it, yeah. But basically, you're using government force in the way of like policing, and you're stopping people based on their race. You're okay with that? That's like definitionally like racism, like state-sponsored racism, like
I
Jim
don't know.
Crow
How
level
would
shit.
you recommend going about? How would you recommend going about it then?
We would not use racial profiling.
Like this?
Yeah, it's not my job to
Like
decide
what?
for them.
Like
I'm
I'm
telling them
sorry.
what they
I'm sorry.
can't do.
I'm sorry. Here, great idea. Maybe you've never heard this before, but we shouldn't racially profile.
Yeah, it's a bad thing.
Crazy,
like,
right?
I just want you to understand what you just said because you're an American citizen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're like Latino, right, or like Hispanic?
Yes.
Okay, are you okay with the United States government looking at you, seeing that you're Hispanic, and then saying, because you're Hispanic, I'm going to assume that you're undocumented, and I'm going to detain you illegally in violation of your Fourth Amendment until you have to prove to me, the government, that you're an American citizen? You're okay with that because that's what you're saying. That if that happened to you, you're like, yeah, it's not big of a deal.
Any other trips that I've ever, anytime that I've been detained for search, like coming back from Juarez to El Paso.
No, that's not the same thing. No, we're talking about you're walking on the side of the street.
How is it not?
No, because I'm describing it. You're walking on the side of the street. ICE sees you.
So what's the difference of the border and doing it down in the middle?
I'm explaining to you. I'm
or-
explaining it. I'm explaining it. You're walking on the side of the street. You're already in, like, the country. You're in the country already, right? You're walking on the side of the street. ICE vehicle passes you. They see you and they see you're Hispanic. They pull over. They ask you for your citizenship. Why? Because they see that you're Hispanic. And you say, which is your right to say, I don't have to show you a goddamn thing. And they instead, then they cuff you and they detain you and they make you prove that you're an United States citizen and they hold you for days and days.
So what do we need? Do we need more border checkpoints throughout like the United States? Is that what you're saying? Just like
No,
hubs?
I'm saying that we shouldn't let ICE racially
they have-
profile people and detain
They
American
have
citizens.
border patrol, like what, 90 miles from the actual crossing, 100 miles. There's checkpoints. So what's the difference between what ICE is doing and border patrol checkpoints?
The border is
again, they
different than when
shouldn't
you're
racially
inside the United
profile
States.
it in either circumstance. Do you agree that they shouldn't
They
racially
don't. They just
profile you
ask
in
if-
either circumstance?
They ask you if you're an American citizen.
Based on what?
They ask you. That's it.
Based on what? They don't say that to me. They don't say that to Parker.
How about this? Do you think
Oh,
that
they've asked
because
me a million times.
do you think that because in TSA you have to show your ID or passport that you should have to do that everywhere you walk? Like if you're walking on the street, should you have to have your license or your passport on you when you're just going to the grocery store?
No, but they have different rules for immigration.
Okay, wait. No, so like again, the point that I would make is again,
So if you're in another country, do you have to carry those things with you?
well, because you're traveling between areas. So again, when you go into the point that you're talking about, we're traveling between areas, identifying yourself is radically different than just specifically walking within inside of the country and being within inside of the country. You're traveling to a different country in that circumstance.
Yes. And as an American citizen, you should not have to carry documents to prove that you are a citizen.
Yeah, like
I
if
should not have to carry a passport.
And a really quick question, L or whatever. Are you Latino?
Yeah.
Are you white? No, like phenotypically speaking, what do you present as?
Hispanic.
No, are you white passing? Are you darker? Are you lighter? What your
Yeah, I'm
your
like
skin tone?
I'm light complected like Spaniards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're phenotypically speaking, you're a white man. You're white passing. And so like the actual premise of what you're advocating for is harmful to Latino people that are not. Like there's black Latino people. And the premise that you're sitting here saying that racial profiling is okay. I mean, when you take a look at the way this country has completed racial profiling, and I mean, like you can take a look at black and brown people and the exoneration rate specifically for black people. They're over policed, and not only over policed but targeted and shown to be, not, or they're shown to be innocent versus the clip that they're actually arrested. Question for you: can you tell like what am I Cuban? Am I Dominican? Am I Puerto Rican? What do you think? If you look at my profile picture, you think I'm Dominican?
No, I'm not looking at your profile. Yeah, just from the way you speak, I can kind
Wow.
of hear like
Okay.
Dominican accent.
That's wild. Can you look at my profile picture really quick and just tell me what you think?
I can't really see it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just black. I'm not Hispanic at all. But see, that's the problem with racial profiling. So by your premise, people or ICE agents should be able to stop me because even for you, you said I sound Dominican. But like you're saying that they should be able to stop me, an American citizen, just a normal black man from South Carolina, because of the way that I look.
Yeah.
You don't understand how harmful that is?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are bringing a lot of light to it. It's just the fact that I don't know what exactly needs to be done when it comes to like the deportation efforts. Then that's where I'm trying to understand. Like I understand that from what I heard, there hasn't been any American citizens that have been detained. Well,
There's been over 170.
Not detained, but that have actually been like harmfully deported or anything like.
No.
Anything like that.
Simply, I want to point this out because this is very important. Simply being detained is harmful because it's a violation of your Fourth Amendment right. Anytime that your rights are violated, you are causing harm to the citizen. Point blank, period, right? We apply that to like anything. Anytime your due process or Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth, it doesn't matter. Anytime that is violated, even in the slightest bit, you are causing harm.
Yeah.
Also, I'll just call this one thing out and I'll drop two quick things. One, you should really look into stop and frisk, right? Because like that's literally a similar type of policy as far as like just profiling people. It's super harmful, and it had not only massive impacts on black people as far as incarceration rates, but literally long lasting mental impacts on black people. But also, you say you don't know what to do. Donald Trump doesn't know what to do either, because like he's spending more money, he's allocating more resources across like all federal law enforcement, but yet he's still deporting at a lower clip than Joe Biden or Barack Obama, when literally they gave him the blueprint as far as if he wanted to do mass deportation, like target criminals. Donald Trump is doing that. Target.
So you think it's more of a?
No, I'm just saying target. They targeted criminals. They targeted
situation then.
Well, they targeted people that was close to the border. They didn't necessarily. Neither one of them sent like ICE raids throughout, cities and harassed like not just undocumented immigrants, but American citizens. I mean, like you literally have American citizens getting harmed by these ICE agents. So I don't know. You can think about it. Parker, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. I just wanted to make that point. Like racial profiling, that's absolutely the wrong way to go.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. Of course.
I appreciate you guys. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's up? I can agree.
Bye-bye. Take care of
I
yourself.
can agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, I do want to
I'm gonna jump off
emphasize.
of here too, guys. Thank you.
Well, I do want to emphasize this really quick. Also, I mentioned how harm can be simply from the rights violation, but in these cases too, they have been actually like harmed physically, right? They have been beaten. They have been bruised, right? We had one person say that if they didn't produce documents, they would have the dogs sicked on them, right? I mean, vile shit. Right, that is out of some fucking like movie, you know, that we watched like learn about how this stuff like should never happen again. So you should look into it because there are like good verified like you know like studies and reports out there now about how this is happening.
Okay. All right, and thank you too, Matt.
Yep. Bye bye.
All right. Appreciate you coming up. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next person, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Let's go to the next person here real quick. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
June 1st, 2007.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Honestly, I wouldn't vote. I was a big Vivek fan.
All right, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Ari, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much, Ari. I really appreciate it. Cecilia, thank you for the $3. Christopher, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Michelle, thank you so much for the $2. Kara, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $15. Thank you so much, Kara. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That is crazy. That is crazy. They said they saw a 17-year-old getting pinned down by ICE trying to go to school. That's fucking horrible.
Yeah, that was in Chicago.
That's horrible. Karen, thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you. Jesus, that's terrible.
Yeah, we're gonna have a compilation by the time this 4 years is up.
That's terrible. That's so horrible. Yo,
Hey Matt, can you try to speak a sentence without saying the word like?
Shut the fuck up, dude. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request.
I don't
if you
even
meet that
say
set of
like that
criteria
much.
listed on the TikTok screen. I literally say it so much. Like, why didn't you say that to me? I say like all the time, bro.
I say more than I say like.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
26.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your birth year? Do you live in?
California.
What time is it?
Time is it right now? No clue, bro.
You have no clue? Well, I just want to let you know I live in LA. It's currently 6:15. Ari, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Thank you so much, of course. Thank you so much, Ari. As well as Eric with the $40. Thank you so much, Eric. I will. I'll ask them if we lived in the Star Wars universe, who would be who the Republicans would be, the Rebel Alliance or the Empire. Yeah, Donald Trump would definitely be Emperor Palpatine. If he was orange. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. My dad defends the Empire in Star Wars. Diabolical.
Bro.
Diabolical. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
What's your birth year?
05. 2005.
And you said you're how old? 18?
19.
19. I don't think that's possible, right? I think you have to be 2006. Maybe I'm
2005.
wrong. Maybe... Actually, no, they could be...
He was
they
born
could
in like
be-
December.
They could be December or January. I fucked up.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
He was probably lying. I mean, come on.
It is most likely the case, but... Yo, what's up? How old are you?
December 31st, 2005.
How old are you?
Hello?
Is this the same person?
Yes.
Okay. So, which month was that?
December 31st.
Okay, all right. This is the last
Year's
day
Eve,
of the
baby.
year. Okay.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
go-
yeah.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I vote Trump.
Okay, why so?
So basically, I think he's the better ones of the two.
How so?
Okay, why so?
Just for the country, if you look at what he's done, I think he's done a lot more than what other Democrats could have done.
Okay, like what?
Like, for example, the war in the Middle East. He stopped that.
Which one?
Really?
Israel versus against Gaza.
No, it's still going on.
Yeah.
Israel is literally bombing Gaza still.
Yeah, it seems that when you have a ceasefire, that usually means that you stop bombing.
Yeah, and who started bombing it first?
Israel.
Israel. They're the ones that bombed.
No, Hamas started it first.
No,
They didn't bomb anything.
No, Israel bombed first.
Why do you think Kamala would be better over
Kamala.
Trump?
I can give you multiple reasons. Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexual abuse. He bragged about walking in the changing rooms of naked women while they were changing, without their consent. When there was an 18-year-old that came out, said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. We can point to plenty of things like that. And Kamala Harris actually advocated for tax cuts for low and middle income individuals, while tax increases for the rich, specifically to be able to reduce the deficit. So she was more fiscally responsible. So she had better policy than Donald Trump and had significantly better character.
So talking about the tariffs, you think those are bad, right?
Universalized tariffs are bad, yeah.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that universal tariffs are bad? Because they cause prices to go up for American consumers and disproportionately raise taxes for low and middle income individuals.
Okay, you don't think that's a benefit for our country?
No.
Okay.
What is a tariff?
It's I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I know what it is. It's like raising imported goods from other countries.
Raising the imported goods from the countries?
I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry.
It's a tax on goods coming from other countries, imported goods.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep. And who pays that tax?
Us.
Us? Yeah. The American importing business, and it's passed down to the American consumer. So how is that good for our country?
I don't know. I mean, it might raise the economics.
Might raise the economics. What economics would it raise?
I'm not sure. That's a trick question.
How is that a trick question? It's just a basic. You said it would raise economics. So what economics?
He's
would it
responding
raise
to what
is
you
a-
said. How's that a trick
is a
question?
totally legitimate question. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
you don't know. So then, like, why do you like them? Why do you like tariffs?
No, I don't like tariffs. I'm
You
just
don't?
saying. No, I'm asking you
I
why.
thought
why
you
would
just said they
you?
would raise the economics.
That's a new phrase now.
Yeah, I thought you just said they would quote unquote raise the economics.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so like, it sounds like you're ill-informed for supporting Donald Trump, right?
Dumbfounded.
I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah, like, why do you
That's
support Donald Trump? It
dumbfounded.
seems like you have no reason to do so.
because he is what is good for the country.
Okay,
How so?
Your argument
He is
is
a good
your argument
he's
is
a good
Orange
leader.
Man good. Your argument is Orange Man good. Can you give us an argument outside of that, other than just Orange Man good?
He strengthens like bonds between countries. He's a good leader. He
Really?
knows what
How's
to
our
do.
relationship with Canada?
What is he doing in
Yeah,
what?
he talked about annexing Canada. What about Venezuela, right? What about specifically, so many different countries where he's like literally bombing boats,
like any other
right? Yeah,
country.
Yeah, literally. What about NATO?
Well, you don't support drugs not coming into the country?
I don't.
Wait, there was no evidence that they were drug boats.
Yeah.
What else would boats be doing coming from countries like that?
Which country?
Maybe fishermen.
Wait, which country were they coming from?
Coming from Central America?
Which country?
I don't know specifically.
Oh, good lord.
If you don't even know what country, how are you going to say there's drugs coming from the country?
Because drugs are everywhere in those countries.
Drugs are
Wait.
everywhere. Okay, so then
You just
so
said
then we can bomb the Oval Office because drugs are everywhere, right?
Yeah.
No,
Drugs are
that's-
everywhere in Parker. He just said drugs are everywhere in those countries, but he doesn't know which countries.
Yeah, he has no.
I
clue.
just said in South and Central America.
Yeah, which
countries?
Venezuela,
Okay, now
Brazil,
Brazil
Chile.
now. Chile
They're
now, dang.
everywhere.
He's adding countries.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. When did you see that information?
Yeah.
Mexico.
Okay. All right. So can you do you think it was justified to murder people without any evidence that they were drug boats?
I mean, you can highly assume that they were drug boats.
Okay, so
How so?
if
Or
you
why?
identify that there are drug dealers in the United States, would you be okay with drone striking those drug dealers in the United States?
So, can you re-say that?
Are you okay with drone striking drug dealers within the United States?
No,
Why not?
Why?
because they're American citizens.
Wait, they might not be an American citizen. What if they're undocumented and they're in the country, right? Would you be okay with drone striking them within the country?
Yes, if they are undocumented, yes.
You'd be okay with them. You'd be okay with drone striking them within the country.
I
What if they
mean,
were- What if they were a tourist?
Then
Would you be okay with drone striking them?
what tourist would come and sell drugs?
Let's say there's a tourist doing that. Would you say in that circumstance that they should be drone striked?
Probably not. No.
No, why not?
I mean, because if they're here just to sell drugs
Yeah.
for, it depends how much and like.
Now it depends on how much. So let's say we had no evidence.
I mean, if you bring in a whole entire
let's say we
boat
had no
from different
evidence.
countries-
Let's say that we had no evidence that they had any drugs, and the Biden administration drone striked them. Would you be okay with that? If we just claimed that they had F drug?
No.
No. Okay,
would
but
not.
you're okay when Trump does it.
Yeah. It depends. I'm telling you.
What depends on what?
On the circumstances, like
What
where the boat's coming
circumstances
from.
would
What is
circumstances
it doing?
would justify murdering people by drone striking them just for having possession of drugs?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, what amount of drugs would make it justified to like drone strike them?
Like a whole boat full of drugs.
Okay. And would you have to have evidence that they had that boat full of drugs or no evidence?
You can have evidence, yeah.
Okay, so you have to have evidence, yes?
You have to have a certain amount of evidence, yes.
Okay, how much evidence do you need?
I don't know how to answer that question. Like,
Well,
what do
you
you
need
mean
some
by how
evidence
much?
at least, right? You need
Yes.
some. Okay. So if there was no evidence, would you think it's justified?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there was no evidence given, so it's not
But
justified.
there was evidence.
No, there's not.
I'm telling you, what
What was the evidence?
Based off the circumstances of where the boat
What
is
was the
coming from.
evidence?
What is it? I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
Oh, okay. So there was no evidence given to Congress. Absolutely none. So therefore, you think it was unjustified, right? So do you think that he's pro-peace, man? Do you think it's pro-peace to like literally just bomb people?
Do you think it's pro-peace to bring in drugs and harm
Well,
Americans?
I don't think they're running for
citizens?
president. And all the, by the way, there was no evidence that they had drugs.
Again, I'm gonna keep on saying this. You
It
need
also depends on also what DRUG you're talking about, man.
depends on what? What did you say?
Yeah, it depends on what DRUG. If they
What's
were
that?
bringing M drug, do you think they should be drone striked? A boatload of M drug. Do you think they should be drone striked?
Yes, it's still a drug.
You think if they have a boatload of M drug, they should be
What's M drug?
They should be drone striked? By the
What's
way,
M
okay,
drug?
let me clarify. W drug. You can't say the specific names, just letting you know. It gets you elevated.
Oh, okay.
It's legal in a lot of states.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
If they have a boat full of W drug, the W drug, it's a very W drug, I tell you that. Do you think that they should be drone striked?
Yeah.
Dude, you think why? Why do you think that they should be drone striked? That would be a sick ass boat to be on. I would love to be on that boat. The full boat is just full of W drug. That'd be great, dude. I'd love that boat. Can I be on that
We
boat,
wouldn't hear from
please?
Parker for days.
That boat
He'd be
was
gone.
made for me. That boat is fantastic, I tell you. I could actually be on that boat. I'm not trolling. Why do you think we should be drone striked? Dude, if I was bringing a boat of W drug to the country, do you think I should be drone? Wait, if I was bringing a boat of W drug to the country, do you think I should be drone striked?
You're bringing in drugs from a different country to sell to another country.
Absolutely.
To make a profit.
If I was bringing it to California, it's legal in California.
Well, it wasn't bringing it to California.
Wait, what?
It wasn't bringing it to California.
Okay, if I was bringing it to a legal state on the East Coast, I was going to New York.
Yeah, I mean, no, don't strike it.
No? Okay, so then wait, so then how do you know whether or not they were going to New York?
You don't know. You don't know what they were doing or
Okay,
what
so
they
then,
had.
So then it wasn't justified to drone strike them? Why couldn't you just detain them once they get to U.S. waters? Why'd you have to drone strike them?
To show, to like give an example out of them.
Oh, to make an example out of. Are you Christian?
Yep.
So you just advocated as a Christian to extrajudicially murder people to make an example? To strike fear into people? Is that the Christian way? Is that the Christian way? Would Jesus be like, yo, dude, that's a great idea, Sean. Sean, yes, we should totally do that.
It's not the same.
Jesus would totally be in support of drone striking me for literally just being elevated off of W drug right now. Literally right now.
No, that is completely different.
Drone strike Parker. He's elevated at the current moment. Drone strike him right now. I'm serious, genuinely. Do you think that Jesus would be happy with you right now, advocating to extrajudicially murder people because they have M drug?
No, but there is a lot of sinners in this world.
There's a lot of sinners. Everyone's a sinner on Dear View, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So then what's your point?
What do you mean, what's my point? I'm telling you, it's just not right to bring in drugs from a different country to harm Americans.
Okay. So, you think that W drug...
And you gotta stop it one way or another. And
wait, so do you think alcohol should be banned?
No.
Okay, but alcohol harms Americans.
Not if... No.
No? It doesn't?
Not if it's...
Alcohol has never harmed Americans under this guy's view. Sean,
I never said it's never harmed
So
anyone
alcohol
before.
does harm Americans, right? So if someone has a boatload of alcohol, would it be justified to drone strike the boatload of alcohol?
No.
Why not? They're bringing something that can harm Americans.
That's not. It's like saying if you're bringing a boat full of guns, you can. No, it's a different argument. You can't make that.
Okay,
statement.
so then why would it be justified to drone strike the boat full of M drug? Sorry, not M drug, W drug.
I don't know. I'm lost right now.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I don't think it's very Christian for you to sit up here and advocate for murdering people with no evidence that they've committed any type of crime or done anything bad. In international waters, we do not have jurisdiction over.
I'm not advocating for murders. I don't want anyone to get murdered. It's
Okay, so you disagree with Donald Trump doing this, right?
No, I agree with him.
You agree with him murdering people, so you're advocating for it.
Yes and no. Like,
what do you
I
mean
believe,
yes and no? What the fuck does that mean?
I believe he could have handled it differently. Yes, I'm not saying that Donald Trump is. You need to support
you just
everything.
said that it was justified for him to murder. Do you think? Okay, does that violate the 10 Commandments?
Dude.
Yeah. Wait, it literally violates the 10 Commandments, bro. Why are you advocating for it?
Dude. All right, I'm saying Donald Trump may not always make the right decisions.
Are you really denouncing the 10 Commandments?
Dude, can you let me finish my sentence, please?
Can you admit that you just denounced the 10 Commandments?
No.
Okay, well, you just did. You just advocated for murder.
No, I did not. You're putting words into my mouth. I'm saying you.
What are you advocating for?
You can't support everything a person does. They might handle it differently or in a way that you don't agree, but you can support him and try to defend what he has done based on your views and what you think what you think is better for the country. So like, yes, he might have done terrible things, like not terrible, but like bad things that you might not agree on.
What's better for the country?
Dude, a lot of things.
Such as?
A ceasefire again. What else? He's deported a lot of illegals. I don't know. I don't know anything else, but
name one reason that mass deportation would benefit our society.
It's not stealing jobs from your friends, your fellow American friends.
They don't steal jobs.
They take away, dude. If there's more illegals, then there's less space for.
I have a question. Do legal immigrants take jobs?
Yes.
Yeah, legal immigrants do take jobs. So do you disagree with legal immigration?
Do I disagree? No, I agree with legal immigration.
Okay, but you just said it takes jobs. So why do you support legal immigration if it takes jobs?
What?
Yeah, you just said you don't support undocumented immigrants because they
because
take
there's
jobs
a lot
from
of
Americans.
There's a lot more.
That also legal immigrants
coming
take
in.
jobs. You just said that legal immigrants also take jobs from Americans. So then, would you also disagree with legal immigration?
I disagree with illegal immigration because there's a lot more illegal immigration coming into our country than legal immigration.
That's not true.
That is not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
That is, look it up.
No, it's not. Wait, how many undocumented immigrants do you think are in the country?
I don't know.
Give us an estimate. The Sean Institute estimate.
50,000.
50,000?
I'd say, I don't know.
Okay, so say there's 50,000 undocumented immigrants in the country. How many legal immigrants?
Actually, maybe a lot more than that. Hold on.
How many legal immigrants do you think are in the country? By the way, there's a hell of a lot more than 50,000 people in the country that are
Yeah.
undocumented.
Yeah, which is wrong.
Okay, so can you give me your estimate?
Can you tell me why you think undocumented immigrants is good for the country? An
Again, I think we should
undocumented
give
person
it.
with no
You should give
documents.
undocumented immigrants who have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes a pathway to citizenship. If they've not committed a violent crime or bad crime, how are they beneficial to our country? They have a higher labor force participation rate than natural-born U.S. citizens, meaning they're providing more into the system in terms of tax revenue than they're going to be taking out of the system. They're going to be increasing the size of the GDP,
All right, here
which
we go with
specifically is going to benefit us as overall and our society as a whole.
script that
It's
you
going to increase
memorized.
the level
Okay.
of. What do you mean scripted? I'm telling you off the top of my head.
That you've memorized. So
I'm sorry. Are all facts that you can cite off the top of your head not memorized, you idiot?
They are by definition memories.
Yeah, every single fact you fucking know in your head would be memorized. I'm sorry. What
whoa,
the
whoa,
fuck do you
whoa!
think
Why are we
memorization
so
is?
hostile now? Why are we so
Because
hostile?
what you said
Why
was
are you
just so
calling me an idiot?
stupid.
No,
Wow, you know facts, Parker. Oh my God, Parker, you know facts.
Parker has memories.
Where do you go?
I don't know. Keep talking. You were explaining.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, surprising.
Your memory is fading you.
Yeah, I don't have the best brain.
Best memory.
Yeah.
The best brain. Oh, okay.
You don't have the best brain. No wonder Trump said smart people don't like him.
Dude.
Dude, I'm sorry. You said this yourself. You don't have
We're
the
just
best
agreeing
brain.
with you. That's all. We're just saying, yeah, okay.
What? What'd you say?
Yeah, we just
We're
said that we
agreeing
agree
with
with
you.
you, dude. You don't
Agree
have the
with
best
me.
brain.
I don't have the best memory.
You said brain, but okay.
Well, that's what I meant, is memory.
Ah, I see.
Well, neither do I. And my memory's not known for being so great either.
Really?
On some things. W drug. W elevation in the chat. Let's get some W elevations. Speaking of which, thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate the $2. Thank you so much. Amy, thank you for the $3 for helping the economics. Thank you. Noel, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give me some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you. Audie, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Don't worry about it. Madeline, thank you for the $1 for the raising my economics. Ramsey, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much, Ramsey. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I actually haven't seen that. I'll have to look at that. Thank you so much for sending that. Ari, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Cecilia, thank you so much for the $3. That's crazy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Michelle, thank you for the $2. Really appreciate it. Emily, thank you for the membership subscription. Benz, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Glampire, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you. Glampire, really appreciate it. Maddie with the $20. Again, thank you. I really appreciate it. Let me make sure I'm fully caught up on YouTube real quick. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. By the way, let's try to hit the 3,000 likes. Gibbon, thank you so much for the $5. Fallen with the $2. Ocean with the 3. Max with the $2. Gibbon with the 5. I really appreciate it. Hazelnut, thank you for the $2. Nina with the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Green 4, thank you for the $2. Diego with the $5. And Ribs, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. As well as Ryan, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Sella, thank you so much for the $4.20. Thank you so much from a fellow elevated Angelino. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Jeanette, thank you so much for the $4.20 for the W elevation. And Ali, thank you for the $5 for the W elevating.
Thank you to Mad also for the $10. Thank you, Mad. I really appreciate you.
All right, Sean.
What are you typing, bro?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I'm messaging my friend.
Oh.
About how much you're losing?
I think you should debate, but I don't know if he knows who you are.
I would totally debate
because
him.
he's a way better debater than I am. He's a master debater.
Oh, I'd say that's a pretty low bar, huh?
Bruh.
Well, hey, I'm just messing with you. You just said you made a joke, I made a joke, you know.
All right, hold on. So you think Kamala, is that how you say it?
Kamala, yeah.
Would be a way better option than Trump.
Yeah.
Why so? How?
Yeah, because she advocated for tax cuts for working class Americans, right? She advocated for literally like investments into renewable energy. She believes in science. She advocated to expand people's access to health insurance. You know, where Donald Trump is advocating for massive tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires, is cutting people's food access and cutting off of people's access to health insurance, and then literally not ensuring that the government can stay together and actually operating. The government's currently shut down right now, and like he's already said himself, you blame the president whenever the government shut down. It's his job to get the country to come together, right?
The reason we're on a furlough right now is because of Democrats.
How
you said what?
How do you make that case?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
His friend, very important message.
I'm trying to get him to talk to you guys because he's good.
Emily, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. You need help?
Yeah, I do need help actually.
Okay. Tell him to get on. Where's he at?
He's in the stream right now.
Okay.
He's
What's
in the
his
stream?
name?
Let me ask. Hold on.
If he's in the guest box, we can add him up. We can bring in some backup for you.
I need
What's
backup.
their name?
He's typing right now. Hold on.
Alrighty, give him a meantime. In the meantime, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. His name, Alex Jones. It's gonna be Alex Jones. 10 out of 10, totally happening.
God, I hope
That's
not.
the probability. He's actually a host at Infowars. We didn't know it the whole time. Is he joining the live, or what's going on here?
I think he sent a request. Hold on.
Is he not telling us his name?
Yeah, we need to know his name so we can add him up.
Is it the pillow guy?
Pillow guy?
It's a
No,
secret
it's
name.
not him.
Okay.
It's super secret.
I don't know. I don't think he wants to
Who
join.
else could it be?
But he said, just tell him that the big beautiful bill is bad.
What? Oh,
but Kamala
he's not gonna join.
Oh wait, hold on,
dude.
I don't know. He
Your
said,
friend says that the BBB is bad.
yeah.
Oh,
okay.
W
Face
friend.
friend.
Yeah, wait, yo, whoa. What else did he say?
But Kamala also wouldn't deliver for the American working class either.
How so?
Dude, I'm trying to get him to get in here.
Yeah,
But
it sounds
he's
like he may be like slightly based. We might have to talk to him.
He said the big beautiful bill is bad. So I mean, do you agree with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So then, what policy of Trump do you like?
His I don't know. Hold on.
You don't know a single policy of Trump's that you like.
Any policy, anything.
Sean, why did you think this was a good idea to join the live?
Because I just disagree with
But like,
Democrats.
why do you disagree
and
with
their
Democrats? What do you
views.
even? Can you name one thing that you disagree with Democrats on?
Yeah, like immigration.
What on immigration?
The LGBTQ stuff.
What about the LGBTQ
Well, that I want to talk
community?
What'd you say, Matt?
What? Wait, so
What's
you
wrong
don't
with the
even
LGBT?
Wait, by the way, this is literally the meme they use against Democrats, that they're just anti-Trump and they never have any policies that they actually support. And then he's literally just anti-Democrats and he has no policies for why he supports Donald Trump. What is
Yeah.
up with that? It's always that. They
Yeah, I
always talk about it the other way around. Democrats are just against Trump and they never have policies they actually advocate for, but it's literally just that, like in 95% of circumstances for Trump supporters. They're like, oh, I have a problem with the LGBT plus
Sean.
community. Well, what specifically about the LGBT plus community makes you so sensitive, brother?
Yeah, that's my question.
It's just wrong.
How so?
What? How so?
They try to get kids to do it.
Where?
Get kids to do what? How do you get a kid to be gay? Can you tell
Hormones
me
and
how-
all that stuff.
Hormones. Okay, so who's getting kids to take hormones?
Don't you know, Parker, that in like kindergarten, teachers are passing out hormones?
Oh yeah, that's definitely happening. You know, they just started.
Joe
they
Biden
started-
made that a law. Remember?
Joe Biden
That's-
actually dropped this bill that said,
He said,
"Art
ask
thou
for
give every child in elementary school hormones. Every single child, give them hormones."
chairability. What's that? He said, ask for chairability.
Chairability? Is that his username?
Maybe, I don't know. Hold on.
Charitability? You mean like to be charitable?
Yeah, like to be charitable. Maybe he may have misspelled it.
Okay, we're debating him through a text channel.
No,
at this
bro.
point.
I'm trying to.
Hey, bro.
Dude,
I'm gonna
I'm
go on
telling
to the
you
next
right now.
person, Sean.
All right. Well, hold on.
What else did you want to tell me, other than charitability?
Whatever.
No, we're not laughing at you,
seriously,
Sean.
tell
We're
me,
laughing
come
at the
on.
word. That's a funny word.
Yeah, it's just a
That's all we're
funny
laughing
word,
at.
man.
Because someone in the comment typed in chair and then like ability, and it just made me laugh. Like it was just funny.
I don't know. He might have. He just said, hold on, comma, ask for chairability. I don't know
Oh, his
what that
name's
means.
Chairability. Oh, okay. Here, let me look and see if I see somebody named Chairability.
No, he's not
I'm
even. Nope,
looking.
I don't see them.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
I think that they were asking a question. All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we go on to the next person?
No, not really.
All right.
Keep listening, Sean. We think that you're. I have faith that you'll come to the right side.
Me too. Me too.
Which is the.
Oh, okay.
Which is our side.
Our side. Alrighty, everyone. Let's go on to the next person. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat or in the pinned comment on my YouTube. I would really appreciate it, everyone. If you also want to support me for free, make sure to hit that thumbs up, everyone. If on TikTok, let's try to get to tap the screen on TikTok. Let's get to 1 million likes. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Let's try to get to 3,000 likes. I'd really appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay. What's your birth year?
2007. May
What month?
3rd. May 3rd.
What month?
May.
May. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Why so?
A million times over. He's forgiving student loans.
Okay. He's not forgiving student loans.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Thank you to Artie for the $5. Thank you, Artie, for the very kind message. Thank you, Artie. Thank you on Venmo.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, man? I'm 32.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I don't know. Probably still Trump, but I've been listening to you for a while, and you might be starting to turn me a little bit.
Nice.
Okay. So why do you support Donald Trump then?
I just think, I think politics are pretty crazy, but also, half these people that come on here are, unhinged. Some of these people that act like they support Donald Trump.
Why? What issue is making you still support him? Because you said that you're leaning towards not supporting him, but there has to be something that is still keeping you from going that full path.
I don't know. I'm not super big into politics, but just the way that some of the Democrats act, and also Republicans. I don't know. Just the way politics is crazy right now.
Yeah. So here's my point: is that there's going to be people on both sides that you disagree with how people personally act, but that's not representative of an ideology on whether or not that ideology is correct.
So what do you think about the government shutdown?
I think that it's Trump's fault, and that's something that he said himself. He said that it's the president's job to keep the country together and unified and get them to specifically pass a bill so that the government can stay up. Also, they're choosing not to, based on a certain interpretation of the law, not provide emergency funding to SNAP benefits to try to force Democrats to accept a bill that doesn't specifically provide Obamacare subsidies and ACA subsidies. Or ACA and the Obamacare, they're the same thing. I meant to say Medicare.
Yeah, like, let's make it clear, right? This would not have been an issue if Republicans, who control all the branches of the government, would have passed a bill to either fix or to fund the ACA premiums. Because if that had been fixed, there would have been no government shutdown.
Right. Why ain't both of them coming to an agreement now?
Why aren't they? Because Republicans don't want to come to an agreement. Donald Trump is overseas right now. He has no interest in actually coming to the table and sitting down and trying to craft a policy that will get us out of this mess. He has, and even Republicans have said that he's been very hands off, right? And so you need somebody to come together and for them both to sit down and say, we need to get this actually through. And instead, all Republicans want to do is just pass a very basic bill that does not fix the issue of the ACA premiums, and then millions and millions of Americans will see their healthcare premiums skyrocket in about 3 days from now. And we have no plan for it because the Republicans who are in charge don't have a healthcare plan.
Right. No, I mean, but I do like what you say, Parker. I've listened to you a little bit, but some of these people in here are freaking unhinged. Like last night, the Antichrist shit.
Yeah, it's unhinged.
I hope you clip that.
Yeah, I definitely will be. That was unhinged. But yeah, like the general idea that I'm getting to is that MAGA is extraordinarily extreme. I'm guessing you want the country to be more unified. I'm guessing you want people to be taken care of. Donald Trump doesn't do that. He's specifically advocating for greater levels of taxation for working class people to give massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. Whereas the Democrats are advocating for tax cuts for working class people while increasing taxes on the very richest Americans, those that have income over $400,000 a year, on their income over $400,000 a year, to a slight increase in terms of percentage, to be able to have a more balanced budget, to be able to provide more like systems and social programs for people in need, etc.
Right. Well, I appreciate you letting me come on. I'll let you get somebody else in here.
Appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Have a good one.
You as well. Bye. You as well. Let's go on to the next individual, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Jessica, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you. They said ironing sucks, but you're making it better. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica. W, Jessica. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Alrighty, let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Hello, Aiden.
People are spamming in the comment section. There's this one person spamming debate Hayden. There's no Hayden in my guest box, genuinely.
Maybe they meant them, Aiden.
Yeah, that's the only... I literally added them up because it was the only person that had a similar name to them. And it sounded like they were asleep, so... Yo, what's up, how old are you?
All right, wait, am I on? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
There's a lot of things that, in general, like, I've heard a lot of the arguments. I watch a lot of your stuff. Dude, I'm like shaking. I watch a lot of your stuff. And like, I completely get his like social, there's certain social stuff I completely understand, but I felt like a lot of the stuff, I felt like he was very about unity and like, us not being so divided. I really do. And I feel like a lot of like what's happening here is it's just like we're polarizing and we're very divided. I can't see the comment section anymore also.
Okay. I would say that he definitely is not bringing the country to be more unified. I would say he divides the country more. He says that he hates his enemy. He's called us Marxist, communist, fascists that are trying to destroy the country. Radical left lunatics that are trying to destroy the country. I mean, like...
Yeah, I feel like he's... I absolutely agree that his things he says are very out there, but I will tell you like straight up why I voted for him, right? And why I trusted is because I feel like he's not all caught up in like I think we can all agree that there is corruption on both sides, right? And so I think that like he's not like he didn't have to run for president the first time. I just feel like he's trying to break all that corruption and be like, okay, here I am, and I know. I'm sorry. I'm really nervous also, so I'm not getting my points.
Oh, you're fine. I think he's the most corrupt candidate for president in U.S. history.
Yes, but
genuinely, I mean, he dropped a meme
both
coin.
sides are corrupt, though.
Okay, but can you just explain to me what Kamala Harris did that was corrupt?
I cannot. I don't have a response for that. I don't.
And you do
But I
believe that
think
there
that
are
it's
things
like-
that Donald Trump has done that is corrupt, because you said both sides are corrupt. So you at least believe that there are some things Donald Trump has done that's corrupt. You can't mention anything that Kamala Harris has done as corrupt, but you could mention things that Donald Trump has done that is corrupt. How could you say that you would support Donald Trump because of less corruption?
Oh, because that's what I'm saying is that I feel like he's very straight, like he says what's on his mind. He's very straightforward. He doesn't care about like the public opinion, clearly. And so I feel like I trust that is, it's asking why I voted for him. That's why. Like I felt like
because he speaks his mind.
Yes, like where I just feel like I never really know what to believe.
But like, don't you want like a president who at times is going to be like more introspective and not say just like the first thing that's on his mind? Because when you speak as the president, your words have such power that they can literally move nations.
Yeah, like for example, we'll give explicit examples. He brought up using nukes to fight hurricanes. He brought up using disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19. Right, he's talked about saying that Tylenol
the stuff he says is
when used during pregnancy, when there's actually no evidence of that. When there's actually a Swedish study that indicated that after that specifically Tylenol usage during pregnancy has no association with autism after taking into account siblings and genetics.
Yeah, the statements that he makes, whether or not, like, yes, I think most of the time he's joking. Not that makes it okay. He's very out there. He's very opinionated. He's very, I'm not like, I can see absolutely where like your side is, but I'm just saying like that. I feel like it was almost a refreshing thing because, so many people in politics, not just like the president, whoever's running. I just think that there is a lot of like weird stuff going on. And so, and just kind of like, if you always are speaking correctly and it seems like it's very like
Can I point something out to you? Just like,
sure. Yeah.
Joe Biden was known since the 70s, since he became a U.S. senator, for saying the wrong thing because he would just say what's on his mind, and he got in trouble often because he would just say stuff and then he had to walk it back because he said what was on his mind, right?
Well, I like that he did that.
So you like that he did that, right? But why is it simply that someone speaks their mind, but let's say that person has bad policy and is a bad person, but they speak their mind. That doesn't make them like just like a good leader, right?
Sure.
We wouldn't say that someone that has a terrible policy just because they say it and they like, hold their chest out doesn't mean that like that's a good thing for them to like be in power.
I completely agree. I have a response to that really quick. Is it normal that like I can't see anything except I can't see any comments happening? I don't know if that's normal.
You may have turned off
if you turn them off.
Oh, okay. No, but I completely hear you. Yes, I do agree with like as a whole of a lot of what he's done and wants to do. I like you guys. I've heard Parker, you say, that the tariffs will, cause more middle class, lower class, prices to go up or them having to pay more taxes and this and that. I haven't seen that happen like personally yet. what I have seen personally, and I would say I'm middle class, middle. It's tough. You go to the grocery store, you can't afford anything, but that's been for years.
That's you just showed how prices have gone up because of the tariffs.
But I'm saying that's been for years.
No, but it's been made worse because of Donald Trump. It would be significantly better right now if not Donald Trump, right? If he wasn't in office, because of the fact that he's imposed tariffs and put us in a worse position because it's put us back up on a trend up in terms of inflation.
You think that genuinely is why? Like you don't
we have data that shows it. Like no one disputes now that the price increases since about April, May-ish, right? Are because of the tariffs. Because you can plot the graph from when he first imposes the tariffs to when the price is starting going up, and it's a clear cut like straight line, right? And you can go and compare it, and the people who are like actually doing the importing, the people who are selling it to you will straight up tell you, yeah, that's because of the tariffs.
Are we talking, so I guess when you're talking about prices going up, are we talking about groceries? Are we talking about
many things? It can be groceries, it can be like non-perishables, it can be basically anything that is like imported or even the base supplies that like make those things.
I believe one of the things that he wanted to do was for us to produce our own, have our own factories, produce our own goods so that we're not relying so much also.
Yeah, no, but like some things we can't produce here. Things like coffee,
for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Things like coffee. We can't grow coffee here. It's not possible. But yet we have a huge tariff on coffee. Right? That makes no sense.
Has coffee gone up? I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
by like 30%.
I'm just saying I haven't been able to like afford a Honeycrisp apple for like 3 years. So I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like things have been inflated for some time.
But Trump's
because Donald Trump ran on the idea of lowering prices simply based on that metric, right?
Yeah.
He has failed. Like so far, right?
Well,
he has failed on that
doesn't it
metric.
take some time for like?
No, because we know what is causing the price increases. We know that tariffs cause price increases of this magnitude, and he's not going to lay off it. And it's impossible for people to start up and start making the things here at home in like 2 or 3 years. It's just not possible. So he's playing the long game, and like theoretically, and so your prices are not going to go down anytime soon. They'll just continue to go up because he keeps putting more and more tariffs on.
Yeah, no, like so I've kind of been giving it time to see, it's like, okay, I trust what he says. I want to see what happens. If in, a year from his.
He's a liar, though. Why do you trust a liar?
I'm not talking. What are you saying he lies about?
Well, he lied about decreasing prices because tariffs increase prices. He said that the foreign countries are the ones that pay the tariff, which is clearly not true. It's paid by the American importer that's importing the business or importing the goods, right? And they pass it down to the American consumer. He lied about the 2020 election results. Right?
Okay,
he lied about his
I
affiliations
feel
with
like
Project
we could
2025.
say that on both, like. Everyone's always accusing the other side of like.
We didn't say we won in 2024.
No, I'm saying there's.
I was just because the 9/11 attacks, I believe that gave us proper justification to invade Afghanistan, and then I also believe that because of the Hamas attack on Israel, where it killed 1,200 Israelis, it might have even been more than 1,200 Israelis. I believe they have justification to go into Gaza and eradicate Hamas, especially because Hamas are trying, and they've literally said that they want to harm America. And if there's a threat to our homeland, I believe that it should be.
Well, one, they haven't eradicated Hamas. They've been killing innocent Palestinians.
Well, they've been trying to eradicate Hamas.
They haven't done so in an effective mechanism, right? Because it is the case that they've been literally killing mostly innocent people.
Guerrilla warfare is an extremely successful tactic.
They've like completely destroyed Gaza.
In an attempt to eradicate a organization with the sole purpose of harming them. And a U.S. ally, by the way. So do you not stand with U.S. allies?
Not all U.S. allies, no.
Okay, what are some that
dude,
you
you,
stand
you
with?
advocate for Donald Trump, who wanted to annex Canada. Shut the fuck up about standing with U.S. allies.
I'm Canadian. I completely disagree with what he says on
Yeah, I
that.
bet. Standing with allies, my
Oh,
ass, dude. Come on.
well, you have to stand with some. How else are we supposed to get a
Wait.
foothold?
You said you're Canadian. Are you a dual citizen?
Nope.
So you're not even American.
What?
This is what I mean by a waste of time, bro. Nancy, thank you so much for the $7.77. Thank you so much. Sarah, thank you for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Create the W's for them in the comment section right now. Does not meet the set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Mojo, thank you so much for the £5. Thank you so much. Stephanie with the $20. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Create some W's for Stephanie in the comment section right now. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. We're going to have one more conversation, then we're going to get off for today, everybody. One more conversation, then we're going to get off. I would really recommend to go over to my YouTube channel, like my YouTube stream, check out some of my YouTube videos. I would really, really, really appreciate it, everyone. I would really appreciate it. I think we currently right now have 1,600 likes. Let's try to get to at least 2,000, everyone. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
23.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Nah. I mean, I did vote for.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I always voted Democrat. Like 2016, I was Hillary Clinton. When it came into the 2024 election, man, the Biden era kind of disillusioned me with it. And Trump seemed, I looked at his 2016 presidential, his era and deregulation. It seemed like it did the economy well, man. So I went with Trump on this last election. You know, I felt like both leaders, it was kind of sad because like the leaders was kind of a reflection of the country, man. You had Biden and
So
he
if
seemed,
you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump, yeah.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Well, the immigration policy, you know, we have to stop the illegal immigrants coming in, man. Things are getting out of hand. The fentanyl, they
you can't
put
say
in
that on the
stricter
live.
laws.
You can't say that on the live. I have to go on to the next person now. That's fun. Let's go on the next individual quick. You can't say F drug on the live, everyone. We have to go on to the next individual. It's against TOS, so I have to go on to the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next individual. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. This is the last conversation here for tonight, everyone. Again, if you want to support me, as always, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're so close to 400,000 on YouTube, by the way, everyone. We're so close to 400,000. I think we're like less than 5,000 subscribers away. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah,
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
Seems patriotic.
Okay. How is Trump patriotic?
I guess the American thing to do would be to stand up for your freedoms.
Yeah, by calling for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, and violating the First Amendment rights of Americans, Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights, and 14th Amendment rights.
Is the First Amendment culturally biased?
What do you mean culturally biased? No, he violated the First Amendment because he called for the for people who have burned the American flag to be put in prison for a year, which is supported by the First Amendment. The Supreme Court has indicated that it's protected by the First Amendment and that it's symbolic speech.
I just got a couple questions. Is the Republican Party anti-slavery?
I don't think that the Republican Party is like anti-slavery today or like historically.
Like in the dictionary.
Like would Republicans be anti like slavery today?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole bandwagon.
I mean, I don't think that like Republicans at mass think slavery should be legal outside of the context of prisons. I mean, I think they probably do advocate for it in prisons.
Well, I'm just saying, if their party's anti-slavery, then what's the other one?
Wait, we're anti-slavery as well.
Oh, that's crazy because it doesn't say that. It should say that.
What do you mean? We say that we're against slavery?
No, if I like Google or Wikipedia Republican, it says anti-slavery. But if I Google or Wikipedia Democrat or liberal, it doesn't say anything about anti-slavery.
You think liberals fought for slavery? No, liberals were the ones advocating against slavery. Liberals were the ones advocating for the civil rights movement. Liberals were the ones advocating for women's right to vote, women's suffrage. Liberals were advocating for, so many of these different civil rights movements.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look,
I'm talking about
conservatives were the ones advocating against those things.
No, I'm talking about your search engine.
What search engine?
You go to your search engine, you type in the definitions of Republican and the other parties. The search engine says Republicans are anti-slavery. And Democrats?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No, for real, it does.
No, it doesn't.
But I'm just telling you what the internet is.
Okay, can you tell me what policies you support of like the Republicans?
Anti-slavery.
Okay, well, how about today?
Anti-slavery.
Are you trolling me, man?
No, man. I'm just saying,
do you think that I'm against slavery?
I'm not saying you're, because back in the day, the Democratic Party was pro-slaves. That's a fact.
So conservative Democrats, not liberals. So back in the day, conservatives advocated for slavery, right? Liberals advocated against it, right?
Allegedly.
No, that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah, but like over in Russia, we get free healthcare.
Are you living in Russia?
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is kind of like slavery.
Do you live in Russia?
I was thinking about it.
So you don't live in Russia right now?
No.
So why'd you say we in Russia get universal health care? Why'd you say that?
Because it's red, white, and blue. It's socialist.
Okay, can you define socialism?
Like actual socialism?
Yeah.
I think it would be utopianism. We would actually be, there would be no money for currency. It would be purely based on social interactions.
Nope.
As in like socialism.
Okay.
Free healthcare, free humanity.
Socialism is when the workers democratically control the means of production. Okay. So here, let me ask you this question. Can you name a Trump policy that you like?
I don't really understand the tariff thing because if Coca-Cola is an American company,
How about a policy that you like? Can you tell me a policy you like?
I don't know. I don't understand the tariff thing.
So you can't name a single Trump policy that you like?
I didn't know he passed any.
Okay. So how many beers have you had tonight, sir?
No, but for reals though, if Coca-Cola is a company in America, why would we pay tariffs on our own company?
Frank, how many beers have you had tonight, sir?
I don't drink. I'm Muslim.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you. Good for you. Are Are you trolling me? Wait,
No,
I have a
that's
question. Can you tell me what the 5 pillars of Islam are?
the 5 pillars. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Can you tell me what the 5 pillars of Islam are?
Like, there's 3 different kinds of Muslims. So,
I think there's a lot more than 3 different kinds of ideological beliefs within Islam.
really?
So you definitely, it doesn't sound like you're Muslim.
You?
It definitely sounds like you're definitely drunk and you were just saying that as a joke.
Well, I would like to know about the tariffs.
No, how many beers have you had tonight, sir?
I don't drink.
That's bullshit. We all know that's bullshit.
Muslims aren't allowed to drink.
Okay. You definitely are drunk, bro.
Just like when you're in prison, you can't have alcohol.
Hey, dude, I'm elevated right now. No one's judging you. I'm just asking. I'm literally
Oh.
elevated as we speak. No one's judging you. I'm just asking to make sure.
Oh, nope. But, yeah, I thought tariffs were only for imports.
Dude, can you answer my question, man? I'm literally just asking because I just want to make sure.
You want to know if I'm under the influence?
Yeah, I want to know how many beers.
There's a lot of bears over here.
Christian Frank.
All right, peace.
Okay, we're gonna have one last conversation. Everyone, do give it a second. Do give it a second. I'm literally not judging. I just wanted to know, just to because I was curious. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, are we?
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
29.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Hell yeah.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump for sure, bro.
What state do you live in?
New South Wales.
New state must have dropped. I didn't hear about that. New state dropped, everyone. New state dropped. Everyone like the stream. If you're on YouTube, it helps get it out to more people. I would really appreciate it. We're less than 5,000 subs away from... Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, man, I'm 19.
What's your birth year?
2006, April 19.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would vote for Donald Trump. Come on, bro.
Okay. And why do you support Donald Trump?
Because he's white?
He's actually orange. And why are you a racist fuck?
The fuck I'm...
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Literally just low IQ. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
Birth 2007.
And you said you're how old?
18.
If it's November 2007, you would literally be 17. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
24.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
What's your birth year?
2001.
What month?
September.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
President Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Because he's a G.
What makes you think that?
And I have a question for you, Parker.
What's up?
Okay. if Mustache Man were alive, he would support Palestine, right? So you would be on the same side of history as Mustache Man.
I don't think that Mustache Man would support Palestinians because he quite literally was a racist fuck, right? So why would he support Palestinians?
Because
He
he's
believed in the
anti-Jew.
Aryan race. Do you think Palestinians are Aryan?
No, but he
Okay, so
didn't
why
like
did
the
you make
Jews
such a
more.
horrible argument? You'd be on the same side as Mustache Man in the fact that you guys both supported genocide. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh my god, I didn't realize I'm live. Sorry, I must have slipped my finger while I was jerking off to you.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2005, April 17th.
Nice math. And so the next individual, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
You look like gay Jimmy Neutron.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, you look like gay Jimmy Neutron.
Okay. How old are you?
You look like Jimmy Neutron if he was gay.
Do you think it's wrong to be gay?
Nope.
Okay, so then why do you keep saying that?
Because you look like a.
Okay. Just low IQ Trump supporters. I'm gonna keep trying, but if I can't get someone, I'm just gonna get off for tonight. This is atrocious. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
2007, 23rd of May. Yeah, I do.
Okay. And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Definitely Trump.
Why so?
Well, I personally like him, but you know what? That's the only reason I'm gonna give you, because I personally like him, and I think the points he stand by is great.
Okay. Like what?
Okay, well, you cannot put me on the spot like that, but he's done a great job at immigration.
On what?
Well, you said what?
I said on what?
Well, bro, if you think about it, he's blocked a border of like.
All right, I'm gonna try like 2 more people. If I can't get someone, I'm just gonna get off for tonight, everyone. If you're on YouTube, I would appreciate if you hit that thumbs up, everyone. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. Let's try to get the next individual up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah,
Okay, what's your birth year?
it's 2998.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why do you support Donald Trump?
I think that he was operating on a campaign of populist ideology, which the bulk of people agreed with. And I think, like, you and most of your chat is probably going to, like, drop their jaw at this, but I think he's actually less unpredictable than Kamala Harris would have been.
Do you think he's more predictable?
Yeah.
Okay, what makes you think that?
Well, I think that Donald Trump operates off of a need to appease his base. So I think that based on what his base wants, he changes. He might flip his opinions, which, I think is important.
If he flips his opinions based upon his base, wouldn't it be harder to predict what his position would be rather than having a consistent ideology?
Not necessarily, because the Democratic Party oftentimes defies their base, but they still make decisions that are unpredictable.
Okay, let's say that you think that he's more predictable. Why is that better?
Well, I think that it's better because as a country, you can kind of prepare for and know what to expect, but also because, Trump did win the popular vote.
Do you
So
think the markets have been more predictable since Trump got in office?
like the stock markets?
Yeah, the stock markets and like the general markets overall.
Well, I mean, you as an economics major is going to know that the stock market's going to be affected by tariffs. So, I mean, that's a good question, right? If he's going to
And they're
impose
affected
tariffs,
because of the lack of predictability, because of the lack of uncertainty, or the lack of certainty.
right? But if
So
he's
that's
going
actually
to,
kind of the point I was trying to get you to realize, was that the lack of uncertainty, or the lack of certainty specifically, is kind of evidence that he's less predictable economically speaking. Now, you might be able to say he's more predictable within other circumstances, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's like, it would be a good sense of predictability. And also it would depend on the context of the situation that you're referencing. So I don't think this is a general idea that would actually like make him look better as a whole. There's some aspects in which predictability is good and some aspects in which predictability is bad. So it just depends on the situation.
right? Okay, I mean, if you're talking about predicting the market in general, that's already not feasible. Like I don't think that that's a good thing to kind of sit your hat on, because nobody is really able to predict the market, right? Like
It's less
99.
predictable because of the uncertainty imposed by tariffs. It was more predictable when it is the case that you didn't have tariffs being implemented.
Okay, but I mean, 98% of human traders on the market lose money. So, like, I mean, if you're talking about market predictability, versus other forms of predictability,
I meant certainty
think
within
that's
the
an-
markets, right? And we
I think
obviously
that's an
can tell that there's
interesting
less
one to
certainty
point
in
to.
markets.
Like, I mean, yeah, but less certainty in markets in what way, right? Because like tariffs affect very specific parts of the market, but like again,
Well, it's a
what I'm
universalized
saying,
tariff, so it affects the overall economy.
well, yeah, I mean, like if you impose tariffs on something like a main exporter of beef or a main importer of beef, then yeah, sure, it's going to affect that market. Like it's not. But what I'm getting at again is that if you want to get hung up on something that you brought up specifically, which is the stock market, we can, but nobody's able to predict that. It's already a bad point for you to make in terms of predictability. I think he's more predictable generally.
No, I was indicating that he's less predictable. And again, in what way is he more predictable? Be specific.
In policy that his base is pushing for.
Be specific.
In things like, this is like a bit of self-snitching, but in things like Project 2025, right?
You know what he was lying about?
I
mean, because the entirety of the Republican Party, like half of the like 75% of the Republican Party was saying that it was a lie, that he has no affiliation with Project 2025, and now you're snitching and admitting that he does have an affiliation with Project 2025. Sounds like that wasn't very predictable.
That's why I said it was self-snitching.
Right, it was predictable for us, but you guys didn't listen to us.
Right, but the point is how much of his base agrees with the policy in Project 2025.
I think most of his base doesn't even know what it is.
Okay, I mean, I can't argue with that.
You know it's true. If you ask the average Trump supporter to name a few things in Project 2025, they'd have no fucking clue.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that, but the bottom line is like the big headers of it, things like immigration policy or like Roe v. Wade, right? Like they understand that.
Yeah, but they don't understand what aspects are in Project 2025. What are the extents of it? Practically no one's looked into it, to be totally honest with you.
Well, okay, nobody's looked into it, but everybody knew about
Trump
it.
Trump supporters had no clue. All they heard was Project 2025. It was a buzzword, and they were like, "Oh, Trump said he doesn't support that." That was it. That was how far it went.
Right. So the entire
For
left,
like 95% of Trump supporters.
The entire left looked into it, but none of the right knew what was going on with it.
Well, we looked into it to a greater extent because we realized how much of a harm it could be to our country. And I'm not saying every single person on the left looked into it so much, but we definitely had more of a push on the left to look into it because we realized how much of a harm it could be to our country.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of Project 2025, there's no like data that I can, I can go to refute what you're saying. But I think that generally with a populist ideology and Donald Trump winning the popular vote.
Okay, be specific. Like what populist ideology you like? I just want to be specific.
well, his populist ideology revolved around like huge conservative change, right? It revolved around defying the status quo in a
Like on what?
way. Well, I mean, on everything, right? Like Roe v. Wade is a good example. So that's one. And then immigration policy is another good example. But, you know, like in terms of defying the status quo, what that means,
Okay,
like
why would
in
you
a
want to
general,
overturn Roe versus Wade?
why would I want to overturn Roe versus
Yeah.
Wade? Because I don't, like, because I don't agree with the notion that life does not start at conception.
No, we agree life begins at conception. We just don't think cellular life is what we consider valuable, right? Medical life ends at brain death, right?
Well, I mean, it can. It depends on how you designate yourself.
Medical life ends at brain death. That's how we medically determine that to be the case. That's what doctors and nurses indicate to be the case, right? Is medical
Right,
life
but-
ends at brain death, right? So
But
if it ends at
doctor-
brain
but-
death at the
but-
end of sentient life, well, then it would begin at the beginning of sentient life in terms of the conception of medical life. Yes, biological cellular life begins at conception, but that's not what we consider valuable.
But will doctors and nurses keep a brain dead person alive if it's their family's wishes? Will they keep them in a coma?
Yeah. But like, it's
Okay.
but you do,
So,
do you think
okay.
it's murder? Do you think it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead?
Do I think it's murder? Not necessarily.
Okay, so then that's my point. So why would it be murder to get an abortion prior to the point of sentience? If it's not
Because I
murder
think
to pull
that-
the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead.
Because I believe that there's a difference between a life that has potential versus a life that suffered some sort of trauma that put them in the position to be in, like, basically brain death.
Well, think about it this way: it's never had a past or a present subjective experience before. So if you get an abortion, it will never, ever, ever, in the entirety of its entirety of existence, have a subjective experience. So if it's just potential alone, why do we just consider it valuable? If it's just potential alone, I would consider like someone's actual rights in terms of bodily autonomy to be significantly more valuable. Like you could say maybe if you wanted to, has value alone, right? But it's not going to have enough value to say that like someone's bodily autonomy rights should be restricted.
Right. And I mean, so real quick, I'm not advocating for the total abolition of abortion across the entirety of the United States, right? Like the overturning of Roe v. Wade was simply giving the decision back to the states, right? Like that's something.
That decision already existed after viability, right? I think it should be federally protected in terms of the right to get access to abortion prior to viability, because if not, it leads to horrible situations in terms of states around the entirety of the United States restricting access to abortion in situations where people have been assaulted, where children have been assaulted, where they have to go to other states in order to be able to get access to it, and they might not even be able to do so, which is obviously ridiculous. Come on, you can't say that that's okay, right? And
Sure,
if
I mean-
you wanted there to be like a federal exception for those things, the federal exception should have been in place before you overturned Roe versus Wade. And overturning Roe versus Wade without ingraining federal exceptions into law is negligent at best.
Well, yeah, I mean, on that, I would say generally I have to agree because I do believe in the exception of, you know, like extreme circumstances, right? Like, you know, I don't have like a Charlie Kirk opinion where a 10-year-old would have to carry it. But
Yeah. So then like my point would be is that like you're leaving it up to the states to restrict access to abortion in those circumstances if you overturn Roe versus Wade. Whereas if you left it up to the states, or I mean left it up to the federal government to protect access to abortion prior to that point, if you don't want an abortion, don't get an abortion. And for people who do specifically need to get abortions, they would be able to get access to it.
I think that the populist ideology behind it and the way that the vote swayed indicates that more of the population wants the law overturned.
No, most of the
That's-
population is pro-choice. That's just not true. Polling data indicates most of the population is pro-choice.
I mean, if you're a pro-choice person voting for Donald Trump, then okay. I mean, I guess, right? Like, you can say that,
No,
you know,
wait. Most of the population being pro-choice doesn't necessarily mean that like all those people voted for Donald Trump.
Well, who won the popular vote?
Donald Trump did win the popular vote, but that doesn't mean that
Okay.
pro-choice people
So
voted for Donald Trump.
what was one of the biggest things he ran on? I mean, like, you know, I think that that's just a good way to figure general consensus.
No, I mean, you can look at the polling data. Again, polling data very clearly indicates that, again, most people are pro-choice.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things in terms of populism that I think is important for Donald Trump's presidency. Predictability is another one. I also believe that Donald Trump had a better grasp on foreign policy than the Democratic administration of 2020.
Okay, be specific.
I think that Donald Trump was accurate in saying that like the Ukraine-Russia war wouldn't have broken out during his presidency.
I think that's an absurd statement. Why do you think that would have been the case?
Because I think that as much as people hate it, that he had a good relationship with Putin, and that Putin wasn't willing to defy him.
He doesn't have that relationship now. He was talking about Putin was conspiring with Xi Jinping against and behind his back.
Well, specifically, what I was getting at is that Donald Trump made much more, I think, like viable threats towards Russia in his first administration.
Okay. I mean, none of this really indicates that he's better off compared to the Democrats. I would say that the Democrats would be better off against Russia because they were harder on Russia, whereas Trump has given them more leeway, specifically to take more land in Ukraine by cutting the funding to Ukraine
don't agree with that. I don't agree with being harder on Russia is the solution to Russia-Ukraine.
Can everyone hear me? Hello? Is it frozen for the YouTube? People are saying rip on YouTube.
It's good for me. But...
I know, it's fine for me too. I'm not seeing any comments on TikTok, and I'm seeing rip on YouTube. Can y'all hear me now?
It's probably
no,
just
you're all
YouTube.
good. Are we back? All right. Here, keep going with what you're saying, and also I probably only have like a few more minutes, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, like I think that the notion that being hard on Russia, quote unquote, and like also just ridiculous funding to Ukraine, I don't think that that's the solution. I don't think that's an answer. To be honest, I think
it's not ridiculous funding to Ukraine. It's specifically funding for Ukraine to ensure the stability of their country so that they're not taken over by Russia. Because if Russia is able to take over Ukraine, they're going to continue their imperialist struggle within the context of Europe to try to take even more countries. That's why NATO exists. That's like the whole reason why we have NATO.
Yeah, I know that we have interests in NATO and also like the UN and their general consensus. But the point is that I just don't think that Putin, especially like in his later years, is responding well to this like posturing of strength. I think that he would respond, well, not of strength, of anti-Russia stances. I think that he responds better to diplomacy.
Okay, I don't think Trump has responded, better with diplomacy. I've seen no reason to believe that. Why do you believe that?
I mean, okay, why do I believe that? Jesus, like, did Trump or Biden meet with Putin more times during their presidencies?
I don't think that indicates that they've had better conditions in terms of agreements.
Okay, who does Putin say that he had a better relationship with?
Well, he said that Kamala Harris is a better candidate. Do you believe him?
Well, I think that he would act in his own self-interest.
Oh, so then
why
in his
is
own self-interest. So then, what's your point?
Why is Kamala Harris a better candidate to Putin? Is it because
she would be harder on Putin?
Would she? I mean, how hard was that's the whole point, right? Is that Biden drew a hard line on Putin by pumping money into Ukraine and then denying every single one of Russia's requests for, well, not requests for peace, but he never communicated with Putin during his presidency in terms of
they
a
did
solution.
Communicate with Putin. That's just not true.
Well, okay, yeah, he communicated with Putin, but as far as I'm aware, he did not communicate with him in the ways of directly settling peace agreements.
So they specifically definitely tried to, but they know that they specifically wouldn't, because it is the case that that Putin wasn't looking for peace. Like, they definitely communicated, and Biden was definitely trying to reach those sorts of circumstances, but Putin definitely would not allow for that.
Okay, so he would allow for it, or not allow for it for Biden, but allow for it for Trump. Like, I just
he hasn't allowed for it with Trump either.
Yeah, I mean, maybe those meetings that Putin is agreeing to and showing up to that he didn't for Biden are just like flexing.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's just
maybe.
trying to see what he can get out of Trump. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, sure. Like, if that's what you believe, but there's no way to prove that, right? Like, Trump comes back from those meetings and
Well, I
says
mean,
he's making progress.
I can point to the fact that he claims progress. He claims everything to the best degree he could possibly do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I believe that to a certain degree. And since we're talking about wars, same thing with Israel Palestine. But I think Trump has made more progress there too than
he hasn't.
a Kamala
I think he
administration
set
would
us
have.
back, and I don't think that we've done anything positive there.
Okay, yeah, you can believe that, but like in terms of 1,000-year war that they're currently dealing with, like is at least agreeing to a ceasefire not a step in the right direction?
Israel has bombed Gaza again.
I understand that. I understand
So
it's been broken.
What's the point of bragging about the ceasefire when the ceasefire is not in place? That's ridiculous.
The ceasefire was in place, and I think it puts them in a position.
It's not in place right now. Is it? Do you think it's in place right now?
Do I think it's in place right now?
Yeah.
I mean, like the facts tell me no. Okay, yeah, I can't say.
So you can't claim victory when there's not a ceasefire. Like that makes no sense.
Well, but I don't think that when you're dealing with something like that,
are you going to claim a loss right now? Can you claim a loss because there's no ceasefire?
I mean, Parker, if you're going to say that Kamala Harris
getting a ceasefire is a win,
victory,
wait, if getting a ceasefire is a win, then not getting a ceasefire must be a loss, right?
No, that's not true because in a war
that's
you can
so
win.
Dishonest.
No, it's not dishonest because
yes,
in a war you can win a battle, but that doesn't mean that you win the war.
No,
so
wait,
how is it dishonest?
If it's a success, then it must be a failure to not get it.
No, that's not true. That's not true because in the entirety of a war, if you get a ceasefire, even if it's not long lived, and also to be to be 100% here, I don't believe that Israel as an ethno state has the right to exist. But the fact is,
so you agree that Israel doesn't have the right to exist as a Jewish ethno state? So
correct.
Do you agree that they're committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so Israel's committing a genocide. You believe that they don't have the right to exist as a Jewish ethno state. Then what do you agree with Trump on? You think he's worse? So Netanyahu's saying that he was the biggest ally to Israel that they've ever had in the Oval Office. Do you think that's bad?
Dog, worse than Kamala Harris? I mean, you can't say that. She never denounced Israel for a second on the entire campaign. Neither did Biden.
Wait, she has absolutely talked to a greater extent about the conditions of the Palestinian people and how she specifically advocated for a ceasefire. She's definitely preferable to Donald Trump.
Okay, well,
she has talked about the starvation of Palestinians.
Did Trump not say the same thing and then accomplish it? Like, yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Even if
he allowed for Israel literally to mass starve Palestinians and not allow enough aid into the region, right? Specifically to feed the Palestinian population.
Dude, again, even like as somebody who's also not pro-Israel, you can't say that Donald Trump hasn't been advocating for the ceasefires and putting in work to get them. Because like, I'm not pro-Israel, right? But even though Trump accomplished it, I have 100% certainty that Israel's going to violate it.
Okay, well then,
and
there's no. Then why'd you brag about it if you know that Israel's going to violate it? Okay, I gotta get off, man. At this point, do you have any last words?
Why did I brag about it? I mean, like in terms of the overall conversation, not really. But
you were bragging about it. If you're not like, if you knew that they were just going to violate it anyway, why would you brag about it? Come on.
Because again, I think it's a step in the right direction, and I think you're being logically dishonest to say it's not.
It could be considered a step in the right direction if it wasn't the case that the Democrats have been advocating for that same very thing and had this exact same deal at the end of their administration.
They had the same amount of time, and in fact, Trump accomplished it quicker.
Wait, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? They already had this deal specifically like over a year ago.
The exact same. So you're saying that Trump just took the exact same deal,
practically
in paper, word for word, and then just took it there and accomplished it?
Practically.
I mean, I didn't know
about a year later.
I didn't know that the Democratic Party had that.
But he tried to do the same thing.
But that's the thing is like, again, he accomplished it in what, like 6-7 months. Fuck. But again, they
6
had
months.
plenty of
It's been 9 months.
9 months. Okay, accomplished it in 9 months. They had
He
plenty of
didn't
time.
accomplish it. All right, I'm
If
gonna.
they had if they had the deal written up, why couldn't they? I mean, that's like the question I'm asking, right?
Well, I mean,
Is-
we could point to the fact that specifically was reported on the fact that Donald Trump called Netanyahu and tried to get him to undermine the ceasefire until he got into office. So that would be one. And he was also not advocating for a ceasefire at that time. He was advocating for Israel to finish the job. That's what he was saying. But all right, last
Okay.
words.
Thanks for talking to me.
All right, appreciate you coming up. Alrighty, let's go. Let's get off for tonight, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming through. Check out my YouTube channel. Everyone, we're less than 5,000 fucking people away from 400K on YouTube. I would really appreciate if you went over to YouTube and subscribed to me if you have not already. Seriously, there's 5,000 people in the TikTok stream. Or if you go over there and you do that, I would really, really, really appreciate it. We get very, very close. We might hear pretty soon. Get that. Let me see if there's someone to raid. I think some people were saying raid Brett Cross. I don't know what Brett's at is right now, but look up Brett Cross. I bet you'll be able to find him. Spam Parker raid, spam love from Parker, everyone. Look up Brett Cross, spam Parker raid, spam love from Parker, everyone. Have a fantastic night, everyone. I will see everyone later. I love y'all so much. Have a great night, everyone.